All right, guys, welcome to the show. This is Comics Cast, our big grand return. We've been off for a couple of weeks now, but our focus today is really just making sure that we can sort of launch the Crom Con IV with Pop Van Zandt and the Comic Related Madness crew. So I've got everybody on here. I'm not going to introduce everybody by name, but we're going to have a chance to talk to everybody, and then we can sort of kind of pitch what we're doing as we go into the con. Just chat for them about the next hour and a half about comics and where we're at. I'm interested in trying to chat with these guys because this is their fourth con from what I understand. So we can kind of talk and figure out about the benefit of getting these guys at least online with people. We'll see how that's going. You know, how that how's it connected to actual physical cons, meeting the people that you work with all the time, or meeting your fans and sort of having that. But that being said, we also have a couple publishers on the show today, as well as we'll have two eventually, the Brew Gooders, which a big announcement. They'll be working with us in the future doing comic reviews. So if you want to have your comics reviewed, send us a link. We'll chat about it, and then I'll see if we can get these the Brew Gooders on there. So that being said, Pops, do you want to kind of kick off and explain a little bit more about your con and what's going on?
Welcome to Crom Con IV, the pre-show. That's what we got going on right now.
Yep, that's what that is, exactly.
This is a COVID-related thing that happened. You know, we didn't plan Crom Con. It happened due to what's going on in the world. You guys lost your cons. You didn't have no way to make no money. I was like, I have a group. I have a platform. I'm going to start doing some online cons and help people out. And it's kind of blown up. I don't know. There's like 100 people in my group when we did the first one. And I think we're like over 1,200 people now. And the group is growing. It's all, you know, creators, artists, editors, publishers, everybody, you know, fans. It's a huge networking group, and Comic Related Madness is for everybody. Come out and check out what we got going on.
Good. I'm sorry, don't mind me. I'm just sharing it a couple of places before we kind of kick off the rest. All right, I think that's good. Before Facebook decides to ban me again for sharing.
Yeah, they don't like it when we want to promote what we're doing.
Promote without rise. I wanted to say thank you to Alan Michael. He's been around with me, helping me out for a long time since before we started this show. So that was really great. I appreciate it. I'm also friends with Larry Higgins, but we haven't really ever chatted online.
Not much.
But I love your work. I've always been a fan of when I see it. It's just one of those things that as you're kind of scanning through the Facebooks and Instagram and everything else, you see just this phenomenal work. And I've always gravitated towards the work that you're putting out. So thanks for being on the show. We can kind of chat more about
it. Thanks for having me. I feel like I'm center square in like Hollywood Squares or something about now, you know? Right?
I'll take Niobe for the block, please.
Right?
Florida man.
But the work that you speak of, I wish I can take credit for that. That's mostly done by all the talented artists like Steph Olson, CB Zane, R.B. White, Paul Green. They just take my ideas and just make them cool. That's all.
Oh yeah. Well, but the thing is what is, as I'm noticing as I kind of come into more of a leadership role and that sort of thing is
Tyler.
Is that you just got to find, like, you just, as you build content around you. Hey Tyler, you got to take ownership of that, man. Like, thank you for building that great team for sure. You know what I mean? Like, you're putting together a great team is all I'm saying. So,
well, I'll tell you something. I thank you for the word. I want to give Tyler a shout out since he's in your chat. Tyler Carpenter is doing a book called Entity. It's funding on Kickstarter right now. It's like 20 days left to go. Go check it out, folks. It's 100 pages, $20, no shipping costs if you live in the U.S. I mean, you can't beat that.
No, you cannot. And I talked to him before the show. I know he's busy and he wanted to jump in at some point, but I'm going to pull up some of the imagery on that on his book so we can make sure we really plug it well. How about the rest of you guys? Where are we at with any crowdfunding for any upcoming books or anything like that? Alicia Fields, anybody else? Where are we at with Right Hand Comics or Correct Hand Comics? Sorry, let me rephrase. Hey, David. Sorry, I haven't really said hello yet.
Hi,
just had issue 12 come out a week and a half ago.
A bit of an echo there.
Yes.
A little bit.
The audio is a little bit echoey.
Uh-oh. Oh, Florida Man's back. Okay, good. Man, it's such a big show. I've only done 6 people before. Now I feel like I'm overwhelmed. You guys talk when you want to. Don't wait for me. I'm just here to open the show up. It's all you guys now.
Elysian Fields, we're still in demand, but I got our first print of books out. Larry was there when we did or Larry showed up when I did the unboxing at the end of the show at on Indie Vault. And so I have a copy of that with me here to just show off a little bit. So these hollow foil covers are limited. We are printing 500 of them. 300. I want to say 340 around have been purchased, so there are not many left.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Gerald?
Gerald.
And then we'll look a little bit inside the art here.
Here, let me see if I can. Let me do this real quick. There we go.
Oh, that's raw.
Showcase at some pages here.
Now, where are people able to get these comics at right now?
So right now it is up on Indiegogo. We are in demand. I do not know how much longer they will have us be in demand. But you can find us at on Indiegogo at Elysian Fields. We should be the only project up there with that name. And we have a whole bunch of really cool perks, including a retailer perk, which does give you 2 copies of the hollow foil. And it's 10 books for a pretty great deal because you get 2 copies of our floppy and a black and white cut or 2, something like that.
To go over to now that I don't want to pull it, but here's Entity, what we were talking about earlier with Tyler. Just to let you guys know, Tyler Carpenter's piece, 100 pages. 100 pages. That's wild.
That's insane.
Where are we at? Who knows how long Tyler's been working on this? Feel free to answer, Tyler, if you're in the chat still. But
He's in the chat.
That ship looks like a fire. It looks like the Firefly.
Yeah, it does look like Serenity, doesn't it?
it's got a little bit of that Firefly feel for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this: Tyler's been doing this for a couple of years. The book has already been done. They've done this before. They've had it out at cons, and Tyler's kind of bringing it back to see if there's any interest in it. And this cover here that you're looking at, this is done by Luigi Terrell, and you'll know Luigi Terrell if you know the comic book called Rags from Antarctic Press, Brian Ball, Trent Luther, and the boys. And so Tyler reached out to Luigi, and Luigi paid homage to the original cover and did a fantastic job on this.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's awesome.
Thanks, brother.
Raw. It's very raw.
Jesse Switters. My Sunday has been missing comics cast. I know we're back. We are back. We're not superheroes. We got to regroup sometimes for sure. Oh. I don't know, man. I'm feeling old, but I love that we're doing this and we're sort of getting the fan base out there. So the only reason we exist is to make sure that indie guys can unite, indie guys can flourish, how best we can help, and then unify that fan base. So that's the only reason we exist. Hey, Florida Man, we've never chatted before.
Todd Mulrooney.
Joe, how you
My guy
doing?
right here.
Hey, Todd, how are you?
That's my guy right there.
Doing really
Oh,
good.
yeah?
Thanks for
Hey, you doing?
welcoming
man?
me. I
Yes,
appreciate
please,
it.
yeah.
How's it
Yeah.
going?
Who's the
Nobody-
yeah, go ahead.
Nobody has a wrench to put some links in and things like that, huh?
Oh,
Well, we actually do need to put a link in the account. Let me go ahead and link in the text here so people can jump on when they want to.
I
Check
played
on
enough.
that. I'm telling you, man. Like this having so many people on the show, man. It's making me level up real quick. Let me get that on there.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is true, man.
All right, so it's in there now, YouTube and everything else. And I'm also gonna run this little banner here that says something when I run it. There we go. Skadoosh.
And you say you're not a superhero.
All right.
All right. So I want to talk to Todd for a minute because Florida Man, You know,
Okay.
when it first popped out, it's like we had that subreddit action against our man Mike Barron, and I was like, no. That's one of my guys. That's one of my. You don't get to try to come out and cancel my guy because you don't like the editor on his book or whatever. Sorry, you don't get to do that. And I immediately went out. I sent Varian a link showing the subreddit post, and Varian was live at the time on Indie Bowl, and I was like, "Yo, dude, check this out." And Varian started talking about it, and I was like, "You want to talk to Mike about it? I bet I can get Mike out here right now and talk about it." And he's like, "Sure." So I talked to Mike. Hey, Mike, you want to come out here right now and talk about this? And the first thing they asked him is what he thought about the subreddit banning his book. And Mike was like, "I don't even know who subreddit is." And it was the perfect response. You can't cancel somebody like they don't even know who you are. They don't even care about you, you know. So we went straight to promoting the out of Florida man. We're not going to let them do that to our people, man. And I don't care what it's about, man. If you're a comic guy and you're putting out good stuff, we want to read your good stuff. I'm not letting you stop that, you know. So what do you think about it, Ty?
Here's a little bit of history. Here's a little bit of history of Reddit, right? It was started by some entertainers and rappers. And what they did was, hey, you can have access to us. We're going to do Q&As in this place called Reddit. And that's where it really got its start. Here's a little bit of engage Snoop Dogg and other people like in live real time. Then they sold it. And, you know, whoever invested it in the beginning sold it to Tencent. Tencent is the Chinese government for all intents and purposes. I mean, all of it can be traced back to that. So this is a government-owned site by the Chinese government. And you know what? They have moderators over there who have agendas and they want to crush Comicsgate, but they're not crushing Comicsgate. Last night, 2 people joined Comicsgate from the mainstream industry, 2 huge names, Kenneth Rocafort and Shane Davis. So they're not winning. We're winning the day. And it's only, well, look, we're winning the day because what are we providing? We're providing good books, quality, and there's no agenda in our books. And we're not, I think one thing, a lot of modern writers that you could see in the mainstream, they inject themselves into the narrative. So it becomes about lattes and getting your hair colored and this and that and real problems that we have on the street. But superhero books are about superheroes fighting supervillains for super stakes. And that's the one thing that's been forgotten. The second thing that's been forgotten is entertain them.
Yes, that's
pull them into the narrative and make it about a super actional, you know, it's a super action movie that has super stakes. It's not about going to Starbucks. It's not about going to your local library and holding up a sign. It's not about those things. These books are being destroyed. Right. The legacy characters are spit on, and the fans too.
Yeah. So I'm not counter arguing any of that. One of the things that I try to create the show about is a platform to sort of unify that issue, right? So people create Comicsgate as a buzzword to be like, oh, they're all racist and they're all. So if you like Comicsgate, then you're this. One of the things we worked really hard on for weeks, months on this was to make sure that we created a name for ourselves before we even got into that arena, so that people can be like, oh, they're Comicsgate. Well, then they're terrible people, you know. Like, no, wait a minute, slow down. It's difficult to even to broach this subject. I've had arguments with people on this show, the people that I've worked with before, talking about when to sort of unveil that argument, because all it is it stops people from even having a conversation. It's very frustrating. But I think there is definitely a tide going.
When you lob a name like Nazi at somebody, you take that word and you make it meaningless, right?
Well,
because
you do make it meaningless for a while.
It waters.
Yeah, and it's really not the way to go about it.
Well, it's very effective. It's very effective in keeping people from being able to have a conversation, because at the end of the day, the people that are lobbing those names that don't mean anything, the reason why they're doing is because they don't like the fact that you're pointing out that the comic book that's being used right now isn't doing it the right way. So at the end of the day, they want their comic book to be reaching young kids, and they know that their book is designed specifically to influence the way those kids think.
Yeah.
So the counter argument is, well, why don't we just focus on story and not tell people how to think, but give them an opportunity to think?
To decide how.
So X-Men, all those sort of books, they were designed to make commentary on the world around us, not necessarily tell us exactly how we're supposed to think about it. And that, I think that's the big difference. And nobody wants to have that conversation because, the main audience is saying, "Oh, they're Nazis," or whatever.
Politics in a story should be a conversation between characters.
I look at my group, and I have people that are Comicsgate people, and I have people that are not. And none of them argue about it in my group. They all seem to be able to understand that this is a platform for networking and people working together and help everybody. And nobody gets out in my group and starts jumping one side or the other of this fence and doing the argument. And I love that about this group. Everybody can be out there. I will promote everybody. I'm not going to hold you responsible for your personal political beliefs. If you got a good book and I want to read it, I'm going to read it. I'm going to promote it. If it's good, I'm going to promote it. Okay? If you're Comicsgate and your book is good, I'm going to promote it. I'm not letting anybody tell me
exactly
what I'm allowed to like. Nobody
and the funny thing is, just because something Comicsgate doesn't make it good either. There's no magic pill that makes something good or bad or indifferent. Just story driven, good character, and it says a story, whatever.
And if I don't like it, that doesn't mean you won't like it. So I don't go out there and tell everybody, "Oh, this book is blah, blah, blah." Don't buy it. You see, I tell everybody, "Hey, check this one out. It might be your thing." That's what a promoter does. I don't pick and choose who I'm going to support. As long as you're good to me, I'm going to be good to you.
The whole point is the whole point not just that comics are there to tell stories.
Yes.
I think Joe made a really good point there, where it's just about, it's not necessarily telling you what to think. X-Men's a really amazing example in that it is a commentary. It's a discussion. It's not a this is what the X-Men do, or this is what the Brotherhood of Mutants do. So that's
it's not a lecture.
Discussion. I've just finished reading a book called Stay. I'll need to find the link for it, but it's a really fascinating French comic about a young lady who is on a holiday with her husband, and within the first 5 minutes of the holiday, the husband dies quite brutally in an accident. And rather than face the music and how you would assume somebody would deal with such a traumatic event, she decides to just continue the holiday. And she has a notebook of her husband was apparently this huge planner of events, so he had a notebook of the itinerary of the entire holiday. So she decides just to take the itinerary and continue going it. And what I think is really awesome about it, and it's been shortlisted for an Eisner now. What I think is really amazing about it is that it's the conversation is how do we deal with trauma? This is a young lady who wants to I don't know. She's not forgetting her husband, but she's remembering him in a completely unique and also that discussion of post-traumatic stress. There's the discussion about grief. And comics are a commentary. They're a discussion, but they're not this is what we're telling you to do.
I think John actually he kind of comes off of what you're saying really well. He says comics need to tell stories and not stop shoving narrative down everyone's throat. We all have beliefs, but we all don't think the same. I think the one thing that we can all agree on is we want good story. And I think to kind of go off of that, what you were saying, Jeff, is that I think that the problem is that when they want to tell these stories that are sort of agenda driven, thank you, they create characters that are flawless, so then there's no reason to watch them. It's just story writing 101. People want characters that have struggles, that have some sort of character development and some sort of arc that we can look forward to. If the character comes in immediately, has exactly the right thoughts, have 100% power level that doesn't need to adjust in any way,
Superman.
just basic storytelling. And the thing is that's funny about Superman, you can have that counter argument. I hear that counter argument all the time. It's like, Superman's perfect. What's the problem? Well, Superman was having declining sales, and he was the first superhero.
Oh, yeah.
So he has wiggle room for a reason to be perfect, and then they had to create issues with him so that he could continue being interesting. And they've been struggling with that character for decades.
I could go 1.5 hour rant on how handle Superman.
Who's got the ball?
Who's oh my goodness, there's an echo. But I could go off on like a 2.5 hour rant on like Superman and what makes him compelling and why there is a way to write a good Superman story, but there is another reason why a lot of people struggle with writing it. But the big thing here is that when you create the big things that obviously go into a good story are obviously, as you said, characters need to have struggle. A lot of characters that have been pushed in the mainstream recently, they don't struggle with a damn thing, and they don't face consequences for their actions.
Yeah, that's one of the big ones too. Yeah, for sure.
Like Carol Danvers murdered Iron Man 4 years ago in World War II. No ramifications. These are the things that create stories, because art is a form of expression. You're like at the end of the day, you are going to have whatever artists or what have you are working on a book. They're going to be expressing themselves, their ideas, and everything like that through their work. Even no matter how apolitical you try to make something, or what have you, there is going to be a piece of that of your artist, a piece of you as a writer in your work that showcases your viewpoint, because we're human and that's what we do.
Well, see, this is why I
would love to chime in on all this, man.
There's 5 publishers sitting in here. You guys are the ones that are changing that voice, so I'd be interested to hear
what they got going on in Florida Man, because it's
first of all, hello to Todd Maroney. And Todd, it was great talking with you and Mike Barron the other day. Congratulations. I think getting kicked off a subreddit was the best thing that could have happened to you. Just saying, but going back to political messaging in comic books, and I'll use my own book as an example. There's a man, his name is Phil Lockyer. Some of you guys may know him. He likes to do a lot of comic book interviews and things like that, reviews. Well, he went ahead and reviewed my book, and he said there's 3 things in this book that I absolutely hate: drama, religion, and politics. And he says Larry's got them all. But he goes, I'll tell you this, though. He writes his stuff in such a way where he doesn't preach a message to you, but it just happens to evolve in the story, and it makes you think. You brought up classic X-Men. I am a huge Chris Claremont fan, and that is evident when you read my stuff. And I completely agree. Yeah, I do have religion in the book. I have politics. I have a bunch of drama. But I would say it's much like the X-Men. And then going back to the Comicsgate sort of stuff, I'm not Comicsgate at all. I'm just a dude, right? I'm a dude who makes a comic book. And like Pop said, if you treat me well, I'll treat you well. And I have sort of no filter of who I'll bring on or who I won't bring on. As long as you're good peeps, you treat me well, all the best to you is how I operate.
That's the same way I roll with the group, man. Just be, you go on your page and you can say whatever you want. I go on my page and I say whatever I want, But when you come into the group, these are all people that are wanting to do the same thing you are. Be successful with the books they're promoting or that they're publishing or the art that they're drawing for those books. They just want to be successful, and I just want to help everybody.
Oh, I see what's happening here. That's not what I want.
Facebook.
We're going to have a look at John's private messages, people.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at all of them.
Goodbye.
We're just going to go through everything. It's going to be awesome. But to piggyback off what Larry was saying, politics, religion, all these things can be in books. Alan Moore's Watchmen and V for Vendetta are incredibly political books.
Yes.
So the way that you handle politics in a story it's a conversation between characters. It's not something where the characters reach out to the audience and talk on a soapbox.
Right.
It's
That's what I was going to say. Stan's
Five
soapbox was the only place I want to be lectured when I was reading my Marvel comics. I'd get to the end, there'd be Stan's soapbox, and he'd have something cool to say, and that's where I took my message from.
Well,
But
yeah, but I mean, he created characters too to speak for him. Like he created, well, I don't know if he created, like that would be an argument, but for another argument. But you know, for the Silver Surfer, I mean, he created that, and he spoke to the Silver Surfer about his issues. Like, there's definitely ways to do it, but even the Silver Surfer and all of his power, he was still flawed. There's just, if you're gonna do it, like everyone has something to say. You should. No one says that all you got to do is put capes on somebody and go punch a bad guy. But,
well, I think one of the reasons that I am drawn to books that oftentimes have more than one main character, like X-Men or Justice League or Teen Titans, or pick a book, it doesn't matter. Go, talking about Claremont with the Sovereign Seven, is that you constantly have characters who, if they're doing it right, you can tell that the characters have different viewpoints on the world that they're living in. And everybody, even if they believe, even if they're a part of this group or that group or this religion or that religion, even if you have somebody that's a part of the same group, 20 people in that same group will probably have different views on what that group actually is or why that group actually is. So one of the things I really try to do, especially with my characters who, if you've ever even heard me talk about any of my books, they're very flawed people. And they're people who are trying to do the right thing, but oftentimes will not, either by accident or mistake, or maybe choose to make bad choices. And to me, that is the most realistic way to be able to have these characters move forward and to really kind of have a more realistic viewpoint on what life is. You might have somebody standing right in front of you who is saying all the right things, who is being super nice, who is you're like, oh my gosh, I have such a bond with this person. And then 2 days later, you find out that they have a basement full of Nazi, flags that are, or whatever, or they're racist or whatever the problem is. So individual people being nice to each other is always better than not being nice to each other. And fortunately or unfortunately, sometimes when you dig a little deeper, especially with characters in comic books, you try to find those flaws, or not try to find. You do eventually find those flaws that will in comic books make the character more interesting, but unfortunately in the real world maybe turn you off from wanting to talk to that person.
Right.
I think.
Look, you can put anything in a comic as long as you're what. You can put anything in a comic as long as your job stays the same, and that's entertain. Yeah. Right? If you entertain them, then you hook them. It's really about hooking a reader, or hooking a fan to your book, to what's going to be in it. Now, granted, we did not think in this current climate of what's going outside our doors, what's going on, that a book about a subculture would actually do that well. I mean, come on. It's a subculture. Granted, we're not making fun of that subculture. We're just showing you interesting stories within that subculture.
Yes.
So we're not disparaging. We're laughing along with them, right? Florida Man, Gary, he's a redneck. It's all intents and purposes. We're taking something that exists we're taking something that exists in our society called Florida Man, where you see headlines of all crazy things and all sorts of shenanigans, and we're just leaning into that. We have a diverse group of characters in the book from all shapes and sizes and all colors, and that's just where we decided we would create a story.
Has everybody here taken the Florida Man challenge? Where you type into Google Florida Man and your birthday?
Yeah.
No, I haven't done that.
Oh, dude, do it.
Yeah.
Do it right now. Google Florida Man and your birthday and see what story comes up first. That's where this comes from.
Yeah. I would like to hear what Pete's got to say. Pete hasn't said too much yet.
That's good.
I'm observing a lot right now because I'm actually using this as almost as the voice of the viewer. My books, I have two that I've taken completely back to formula because one I wanted to redraw some stuff, and the other one I'm actually taking in a lot of what you guys are talking about here, especially with current events and what voice to use. And I'm giving you, and I'm speaking as I guess for lack of a better word, a noob indie writer, and as a fan of indie comics, I'm trying to learn, because when I first put my books out, I didn't really think about what voice I wanted to use. And I think what you guys are discussing here and what's going on, like Florida Man, and then because I and all the other stuff, I'm trying to find, and I'm trying to understand how important, or do you have to use one voice when you're doing a story? And I like the idea of keeping everything, because I was definitely didn't understand it, but I like excuse me, so I'm trying to formulate the idea as I speak, and that doesn't work. You can smell the smoke. I like the idea of the characters not breaking that fourth wall and having the discussion, whether it be political, religious, whatever, amongst themselves, and the reader having the opportunity to go, okay, cool, that's what I think, or cool, that's not what I think, or cool, I liked it when they blew that stuff up. Giving the reader complete control. And that's where I am as rewriting and redrawing a lot of my stuff. I want the reader to have complete control of their opinion. Read my stuff. I'm going to give you an entertaining story. I'm going to give you some fun, but at the same time, when I start bringing in like the flaws and the ideas and the beliefs that these characters have, I'm going to let you decide what you think and what you don't think, because that's not my job. Like, it comes down to when I do because I paint a lot, I do a lot of gallery shows and stuff like that. I tell people all the time, an art piece is I determine an art piece to be successful or unsuccessful, not because it sells a lot or not because everybody kisses my butt and tells me it's great. Yeah. I just want to elicit a reaction. I want you to love it. I want you to hate it. I want you to feel something about what I did. I
think that's true. Yep. Yeah. Anything that's good, anything that's really good is going to have some sort of response. Right. Now, if you want something lukewarm, so that's what I call popcorn films. It's just there to watch the film, enjoy it. You get on the ride, you get off.
Yeah. Big deal. And there's really nothing wrong with that either. What I want, though, what I don't want, the only thing I don't want, and again, I'm learning this and I'm engaging information from you guys, which I really appreciate. I don't want somebody to walk past it, or I don't want somebody to pick up my book and not think anything. If you think it's a pile of dog crap, cool, because now I can learn from that and get better. Yeah. Or you love it, okay, cool. What I do right, it's a learning thing, and I think what you guys are talking about and everything that's going on right now, especially outside our door with the world and everything, it's giving us an opportunity to show and to create our voices with these books. And
definitely got an echo again.
Yeah.
If someone's listening to the stream, you need to stop that.
Hello? Yeah, I'm not hearing.
Like putting the word dog crap echo though. That's I find that quite entertaining.
I've had a lot worse echoes. I don't hear anything coming from my end.
I don't hear anything on my side.
If you have another open screen and it's playing, you need to turn the volume on it down because it'll.
We don't have a secondary screen. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Gone now.
So number one, I love the fact that we're having this conversation because we've had this show on. I don't know. We're on like 9 or maybe the 8th or 9th episode of this show. And we have kind of a little bit of discussions on this, but, the go-to argument is, make comics that are just about blowing stuff up and are fun and entertaining. And I think people get the mixed, I think the general audience is misunderstanding the point. Like there's some people that are saying, we just want entertainment that are dumb. And then the other ones are saying, well, we want entertainment that speaks and has a voice. And that's not really what's happening on either side, and that's the frustration. I think it's just, this conversation.
They're not going to collide. They're not coming together.
I have a perfect example of this. When you look back at the old X-Men comics, and whenever Wolverine didn't like what Chuck planned, he just got on his bike and left. He's like, "No, I ain't down with that. You guys, I'm out." And you saw the different viewpoints without anybody trying to tell you one or the other was right. Eventually Wolverine would come back, figure it out, or they'd realize he was right. It went both ways. Mm-hmm. There was
Pops, I think
definitive, this is how it's always going to be.
Pops, I think you got it right there with that class, because use Wolverine again. they gave us a love triangle, and they didn't tell us whether it was right or wrong to love somebody's girlfriend. They didn't tell us which one of either Cyclops or Wolverine, which one was wrong, or what is they let that play out inside its narrative, and they let us as the reader observe it and make our own decision. Well, I'm Team Wolverine.
Just to add to that, Pete,
by the way.
just to add to that, Wolverine did the right things, moved on. I appreciated that. I was always a Wolverine fan. I always wanted him to get with Jean Grey. I think it was messed up that Jean Grey dies, and then Cyclops moves on with another telepath, and then she comes back and goes back to him. I mean, like, Wolverine's still here, buddy. Come on, girl. Like, what the heck, man? And on top of that, if you guys are all old enough here, you guys remember this stuff. I never can talk to people about this because no one's ever old enough to remember these things. But Wolverine, that classic cover where Wolverine is like Magneto's ripping the adamantium out of his body.
Yes.
Yeah.
In that, that was an amazing image, right? But inside, I think it was a double-page spread, if I remember correctly. Wolverine is dying, and Jean Grey pulls him back from the ether and brings him back. You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was an amazing scene. Like, I was like, come on, dude. Like, and then he still went back to Cyclops. That's not right. That's not right.
You said it last time, didn't you?
It's that bad boy thing that writers like to play with in storytelling.
Yeah, he had the bad boy thing down, but he was 4'2". That was the problem. Let's just be real.
Down to tell the story. It's like tell the story and let the reader get out of it what they get out of it. Don't tell the story.
Exactly.
Well, I think one of the things that we do as creators that I think I call them normals, the normal people who don't do what we do, is that one of the strengths as a creator is that we can see whatever we're writing about, whether it's politics, religion, or just this cool superhero story, we can always try to see it from both sides. Whether you're writing Superman or whether you're writing Lex Luthor, you know what Lex Luthor's motivations are. You know why he's doing it, and there are good reasons in his mind, or convincing reasons for him to be able to do what he's trying to do, and then vice versa for Superman. So I think the best writers to do it, you'll find those. I think that Justice League, it had its flaws, but I enjoyed it. But I think the Justice League kind of shows this, where the main bad guy, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Steppenwolf. Thank you. He didn't really seem to have any motivation. And that's why, in my view, that character really didn't work. He was just, I'm the bad guy, so this is what I'm going to do because I'm the bad guy. I think those are the times when it does not work. But the really good stories are when you can tell that the bad guy and the good guy have reasons for what they're doing, and they're good reasons, maybe flawed reasons on some level for both of them, but they're really good reasons. But I think as writers and creators, one of the things that we do that the normals don't do oftentimes is be able to see whatever the problem is, the story is, the issue is, the concept is, from both sides of the argument. You pick a side and you talk about that side, and you work that side, and you try to find the facts of that side. And if you start to agree with that side, then you go to the other side and say, okay, why are these people believing this? And you start to really dive into why these people are believing that. And oftentimes people pick sides. Sometimes it's for good reasons, bad reasons. But I think the best writers, the best stories are the ones where there are good reasons for both of the actions of the good guys and bad guys, at least in their mind. What's the phrase, the thing that Willem Dafoe said when somebody asked him if he liked playing good guys or bad guys? He said, good guys, bad guys, it doesn't matter. Everybody thinks they're righteous. So having those good reasons as a writer for those characters, for me, is solid storytelling, and it's the way that we are able to see and understand the world a little bit better than maybe most people who aren't in our position do.
So I agree for the most. I want to piggyback off that because I do think that's a real, especially when talking about villains, that's a really great thing to talk about, because I think that for the most part you're right, but there are also times for a villain like Steppenwolf where it works. I think the big problem with Steppenwolf is if you are going to have just a bad guy that is the bad for the sake of being bad, you cannot use it. You cannot half-ass it. He needs to be absolutely despicable. Like Red Skull, there is no way that you can look at anything that Red Skull does and say, "Oh, he has a good point. He's a piece of shit Nazi."
I don't think I would argue that.
On that very.
Well, you know what? Did you guys watch the Captain America movie in the 90s? Maybe 93?
Yeah. The really crappy one? Yeah.
Yeah. I think Red Skull in that was well developed. He had a good purpose and motivation. But I don't remember ever getting a lot of purpose and motivation from the comic Red Skull at any point.
That's why I think he's a very good villain. And he kind of like, if you look at any of the, particularly Marvel, I think, if you look at a lot of Marvel's villains, if you list your favorite Marvel villains, I could almost hand on heart guarantee that they're the ones with like a point. So like Magneto, he's got a point.
Yeah. Also has a point.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Dr. Doom guy, and he has several points.
Yeah, no.
Mystique's got a great point. She's.
Jeff, really quickly though, and this is completely aside because now I'm curious. What have you been sipping on? Because it looks delicious.
Well, I'm glad you asked. It was okay. My whole podcast, I run a podcast called The Brewgooders.
Great podcast. Check it out, everybody.
Yeah, alongside my co-host Colin. I forgot my co-host / best friend's name for a second there. So we run a podcast where we review beer and comics and interview comic guests.
Oh, wow.
We've had some really well established. We had John Lees this week, which was really cool. So John Lees of Sync and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He joined us.
Great show, Jeff.
Yeah, he joined us on Thursday. We've also had established guests like David from Correct Handed Comics.
Good.
We just chat beer and comics, and then we've over lockdown we've been getting guests in more, and it's been great. And check out. Currently, I'm drinking the Edinburgh Beer Factory. I'm based in Scotland, I should say.
Okay, I took a guess.
Edinburgh Beer Factory's Moon Strips, which is
let's get a good look at this beer, yeah.
Yeah, please.
It was okay. Yeah, they were well.
I asked because I'm here on Long Island, just the suburbs east of New York, and I probably have 3 of the most incredible smaller breweries. Well, maybe Blue Point isn't small anymore, but I have 3 little breweries by me within a quick Uber ride because we don't drink and drive. And they are phenomenal. So I was like, I saw somebody. He's like, that doesn't look. What's he sipping on? Because as if the beer didn't give me away. I enjoy a good brew from now.
We need to get you on, man. We need to get you on. Because that's basically the show. We local breweries, sometimes international beers, depending on what's kind of going around. Just play their comics and that. This week we've got. I've put him in the private chat anyway, but we've got Stephen Ingram, who's a Scottish comic writer, this Thursday. Joining us. He's got a show up on he's got a comic on Kickstarter called Holly. He's a phenomenal writer. I totally recommend.
Oh, awesome! I'm on the show. How's it going?
Show, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah. We're all here.
Yeah.
It's getting wild.
Hey, what up, Paul?
Yeah, I kind of feel like we might have beaten a dead horse on this one a little bit, kind of going into it. To kind of bring us back around on the whole purpose of the show, we are doing the pre-show for. I don't think I've got the page up. Oh no! Oh no! Well, anyway, we're doing the pre-show for Crom Con IV, and that will be kicking off. Pops, it's going to be kicking off at 11:30, right? 11:30 Pacific Standard Time. So that's 11:30 for me.
Well, you guys scared the crap out of me because it's 1:44 here.
Oh, you're late. You're late, Pete.
Yeah, I'm late.
Literally 4 hours to 7 here.
I am a rookie. I am a wet behind the ears rookie.
Now, see, Joe, my next segment is the fairies, the Naughty Fairies cast.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah.
They have more than 10, or they have more than 6 people.
So, Pops, if you want to, I offer up this space. If you want to go into your first segment on here, that's fine. You don't have to jump off.
That's what I was asking, if we could send them the link. So
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you got the link. Send it out. They'll jump on, and we'll sort of filter right into the show. I'm trying to bring back up the display for it, but the bottom line is it's a 2-day show, right, Pop? So go ahead and give us a rundown on some of the people that are going to be on the show that you kind of remember what they do. Like, are these artists that are going to be able to get contacted, or how's this going to work?
Pete's got the list right there. He'd go ahead and give a rundown.
All right, Pete.
First off, and I'm reading from my phone because I'm triple screening it right now. Like Pop said, the Naughty Fairies are going to come on. David Harrigan, Karen Nicole, AZ Power Girl, Kylie Knight, Ruben Rosas, CB Lane, Steph Wilson, a whole bunch of folks jumping in, artists, writers, publishers, cosplay, all sorts of fun things. Cody and Carrie Johnson are next from the Comic Chat Authority. And let me try to get the list here. There's a list. It's a lot.
Yeah. If you want to shoot, if you can shoot me a link, then I'll bring it up real quick.
Well, see, they killed the event post.
Yeah.
My event post. So I had to just put up
I have a
photos and links,
okay, so,
you know.
And then, Cody Johnson is up next at 3:30. Then at 4 o'clock, it's my buddy from Indian Studios, Sebastian Bonet.
I just want
The art of Rodney Fike and Eamon Hill are on at 4:30. And then that's pretty much it for today, although we might be adding. We added some stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Added in yesterday.
Excellent.
But, we'll talk about that during the day. There was a couple of empty slots that just got filled.
Yeah, I've been filling spots.
At all,
Tomorrow,
I'm hungry.
Tomorrow at noon, I'm bringing on a local Long Island cosplayer, Chocobo Butt. She's a gamer and anime cosplayer. She's pretty talented. 12:30, myself, I'm actually going to get a chance to talk about my stuff. It's going to be fantastic. 1 o'clock is like the real deal. Keith Williams and Rich Parado are going to be on. From 1:30 to 2:30, the Son of the Saint, Angel Lopez, and Jay Peralta, Ultra Mesa Art. 2 incredible digital artists that have a lot of things going on. They're New York City based. They're buddies of mine. We're all founding fathers of the Artist Club. We'll talk about that then. Katrina Rowitz is coming on at 2:30 on Sunday. She's an incredible author. She has this kids book that she's done some readings in the Comic Relief Madness group. Just absolutely incredible. You can find her books on Amazon, actually. Roland Mann is on at 3 tomorrow, Silverline Comics. Antarctic Press, John Crawford is on at 3:30. Moto Glass, the gentleman who's doing the glassware, the etched glassware, unbelievable. He's coming on. Another friend of mine, a local publisher, Dresden Media, Rich Dresden, does an indie book called Lucky Zilla, again, local Long Island. We have some space in here, and then Alfred Trujillo is coming on at 6 o'clock on Sunday. AZ Power Girl, Karen Nicole is coming back at 6:30. And then Pop was talking about some airbrushing, right?
Oh, yeah. Mark Sabella's going to be out. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And then we're going to talk about Mojo Horizon and a bunch of other. Throughout the entire day, we'll be talking about a lot of indie books, a lot of Kickstarters, and all sorts of stuff. And I know this is my fourth go around with Pops here. When you see the show, you figure, so they're seamless segues and this, that, the other thing. We're more seamless than you can imagine because we keep it the way this is. It's a conversation, and one conversation leads into the next. And when we have a little bit of time, some of us, the co-hosts, our buddy Hash or others, will come on and we'll talk about the way we're chatting now. So,
So a lot of you guys have established comic book careers by now, right?
All these guys are comic careers. Me,
well, I don't.
I'm probably indier than everybody here because I haven't even put my shit out yet. But
I'm semi-green, I guess. I'm semi-green a little bit. I'm like I put some of my stuff out, but at the same time, I'm kind of going back and forth and plugging in at my skill levels that I don't have yet. And I'm like,
boom, yes, I that, my friend.
I mean, I just got my Indiegogo campaign rolling 2 days ago. So this would be my first one.
All right. Now you're saying it's up now. It's been up for 2 days.
Melvin?
Yeah, for 2 days.
And that's Melvin.
Melvin number 1. Yep.
Melvin number 1. Yeah.
Yeah. Pop Mills. Yeah. I'm shamelessly dropping it. I'm shamelessly promoting it every chance I get.
No. That's what we're here for, man. Let me go ahead and pull it up.
There's something I need to get through to all the people that I promote. Okay. If I share your stuff, if you put something up there and you're excited about it and you say, yo, you guys come check out my stuff. Then when I share it, I'm more excited about it. I'm like, yo, you guys, you need to go check out dude's stuff. But if you just post it and you're not excited about it, I'll hit the share button. I'll make sure everybody sees it. But how can I get excited if you're not excited? Self-promotion is key. Okay?
Exactly.
Nobody gets excited to go see Guns N' Roses because they suck. They get excited because they're good and they promote themselves good. Well, they did back then.
Hey, Tim, do you have a video on your on the page?
No, I haven't had one made. Mostly just
okay.
The pages.
That's all right.
To promote.
Let's show the Florida Man video.
Oh yeah, the Florida Man video. Show that. This is a good video. Right back. And then he'll have an idea what he wants to put together.
No, I got you. This is the Melvin number 1 from Timothy Olsen right here. You can go to the Indiegogo page. It's I'll add a link in the description. You guys will be able to get to it. So we're looking at 72. It's been up for a couple days. And your flex goal is 1,000. What are you trying to? What's some of the perks that you're trying to set up with this? This is your first one.
The first one was the first. Perk number 2 for some reason doesn't show up, but perk 1 was just the comic book, and then perk 2 was going to be the comic book plus the comic book with an altered cover by the guy by Sherwin, who does the inside artwork, plus a sticker. And then the third one was going to be the comic book, the same comic book with an alternate cover by an artist named, her name's Eve. I have to work out the details with her. And a sticker and a button.
Very cool, man. Very good stuff.
Oh yeah, my artist is kicking the most ass right now.
Yeah, it's looking good. Looking at it now, man. Yeah, I mean, I know we've been on Facebook together for a while, and I just was not. I wasn't tracking this project, so got past me. Sorry about that.
Well, that's just it. It's like when I see them, it's like I'm telling you, if I see it and it's in my news feed, I'll share it to my group. If I never see it, I can't do much to promote it.
Right.
Promote your stuff. You have to.
Right.
No one else is going to do it for you.
Yeah, like for instance, like I'm trying to get with Dynamite right now, and so I've been getting. I got on Twitter and I got in their little project. Well, I don't want to say little, but I got on their project for.
That is
bringing up the comics. See, that's what I wanted to see earlier. There, let me pull Larry up to answer that question.
Since we're on the self-promotion kit.
Is that like a motorcycle?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you should. I think everyone should be promoting themselves. There's nothing shameless about promoting yourself. Like that's the whole reason we do these groups, you know.
It's like a lot of people are really
motorcycles, sweet looking.
Modest. Don't be modest about promoting your book.
Where are we going, Larry, to get this again? If people are just seeing it now.
Well, you can go to gumroad.com/Niobe Comics, and you can find a couple of the variants there. Basically, that web store is just for whatever I have left over, and I'll just chuck them up on there for sale. But towards the end of summer, we're going to be doing the next Kickstarter for the second issue of this. So this is the 2-part miniseries. So this is part 1, and then part 2 comes towards August. And we're ready to rock to the conclusion of what happens here.
That cover is like I'm digging that cover.
That's just raw.
Well, this cover here was done by the interior artist, because you buy comic books, right? You go to say your LCS and you see this beautiful black cat, and it's like J. Scott Campbell, and it's gorgeous. And you open it up and you go, that's not J. Scott Campbell. And sometimes the art doesn't even match what's on the cover, right? So I thought it very important that cover A, the main cover, be done by the guy who drew the book. And then we have our, beautiful covers from Paul Green and Steph Wilson and CB Zane. Basically, a lot of people you're going to see on the Naughty Fairies. You know what I mean? Some of them. But, like, for example, like you saw that image before. That's the Paul Green cover. And so we got some of them here in the back of the book, right? RB White and Steph Wilson.
Nice.
I've seen that artist before.
Yeah, it's really
Absolutely. Steph Wilson gets around, man. And it's like a little chibi done by Kylie Knight, who now does work for Tom Hutchinson over at Big Dog Inc., you know? So, we're excited about this book. And then we unveiled this character right here in the book. So all the variant covers are featuring her now for the next issue.
Well, let me ask you a question. I think to go through what was asked by, I don't want to pronounce his name wrong, Emmanuel, about being an up-and-coming artist, learning the ropes, all this sort of stuff, promoting yourself online. You guys are all publishers that are looking for artists, looking for quality artists. What are you guys looking for, and how's the best way to sort of reach out to you with some of these new artists that are coming up?
Well, I'll tell you this. I found my artist through a guy named Kevin Perron. He does a book called Galaxial. Some people may know him, some not. He was actually kind of like an agent for some of these guys. Hey, contact me and I'll hook you up. So I contacted him. I said, dude, I need a guy that can give me that old 90s look, because I want to do my book like Bad Girl homage to Image, like Evangeline, Witchblade, all that sort of stuff. So he hooked me up with Samir, who's a great artist from Brazil. But I found my colorist just by putting it on my Facebook page. It's like, hey, I need someone to color my book. Send me your rates, send me your samples, and if I like you, I get back to you. I had, dude, no word of a lie, 50 applicants in a 24-hour period. Right? I had to sift through 50 different lines of work from people, and it came down to Dan O'Vera and Russ Cassidy. Now, Dan O'Vera is the guy that colored this book. Russ actually did the cover for the colors, but Dan O'Vera is known for his work at Action Lab Comics, so things like Puppet Master, Vamp Blade, and he's also worked for Zenoscope Comics. Now, and I'm telling you, man, that Dan O'Vera, he knocked this out of the park, man. Here's this beautiful 2-page spread we got here, man.
Oh,
wow.
Dude, that's raw.
Really good.
Yeah, that stuff is going down.
Raw.
Yeah,
People and everything, man.
In the chat talking to you too.
People talk to me in the chat.
Colorist here, if anybody's looking.
But I'm telling you, Dan blew it out of the park, and he's my guy until he no longer wants to, work.
Right.
But he's a great colorist from Mexico. So I mean, I guess the best way to, is obviously you're gonna network on social media. You're gonna meet people that are in the industry that do the same things that you do. There's a lot of people out there that are hungry, man. They're hungry for work, right? So if you just put out the message, hey, I need a letterer or I need a colorist, I guarantee you people are gonna hit you up. Or you can join a group, say like Pop's group, right? Comic Related Madness, where there's a lot of creators, and you can just start a conversation. Hey, I'm thinking about this book. I kind of need this stuff. Or you want to search yourself and just search different people's profiles of artists you like, maybe someone you want to reach out to, get in touch with, go to their DeviantArt, Instagram, whatever. But sky's the limit for finding people now with the internet.
Well, what do you look for, Ryan Rooms?
I've been taking a lot of advice when it comes to
smile.
camping.
Oh, we lost everybody. Everyone talked at the same time. Where we at?
About
See the Florida Man video.
And
Florida Man video.
one of the ways of getting it out, getting your I exist is to go on shows like this.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
I have some.
What's up, David? Go ahead.
I have some advice for writers.
Okay.
Out there.
Go ahead, Florida Man.
I'm big on recruiting. Go find the person that fits the style of what your genre is, or sort of in your wheelhouse. Go to that person. If you make a blanket post, go to the person, ask them what the rates are, see if there's any kind of room there that fits in your budget, and then go to the next guy. I'm not a big fan of blanket posts of, hey, what's everybody's rates? Show me your best, because then you got everybody going, well, here's my rate, and then here's my work, and then that next guy cuts by $10, and then $10. Now you're getting to the point where you're choosing based on your budget. You really shouldn't choose based on your budget. You should choose on the merit of the art, the style of the artist that maybe fits your project. You always kind of foresee kind of what you want, how you want this book to look. That some people are great at spandex and other people are great at normal clothing and stuff like that. So I'm always big on recruit and start a conversation and see if you can kind of come to the middle of something that works for your budget.
Yeah, I mean, building those relationships for sure, and having real conversations with people instead of just
a lot of money. So when they want to make something, they have to go by their budget. What can I afford to do? And that's why if you're starting
No, I
out.
understand that, but I'm still not a believer of those cutthroat posts. I'm not.
Yeah,
That's a fair point.
This is one of the things that I try to focus on. Being a one-man band, I've been lucky enough to work with some other writers, some other colorists, some other artists we just did stuff together. For me, it's about doing things like this to be able to connect with other creators, but also really liking and sending out my stuff to as many people on Facebook, Twitter, that kind of stuff, and trying to just find people who I connect with. Just not really worried about where they are, who they are, or what kind of story they want to tell, but just seeing if I connect with them on a personal level first, and then say, hey, do you want to do something? There's an ongoing series that I create pretty much by myself, but I'm always looking for other writers, artists, colorists, whatever, who say, hey, let's do a one-shot together. Let's see where it goes. We'll do 2 different colors. I'll put it on you put it on your page. I'll put it on my page, and whatever we get, we get. But for me, really, it's about creating, just always finding people to be able to, that love doing what I do, to be able to create things that they will be proud of, to be able to see if it goes somewhere. If it doesn't go somewhere, you move on to the next thing. That's a great thing I think about this business, is a 24-page one-shot can take you everywhere, anywhere you want to go. But if it doesn't quite work out for whatever reason, you can just move right on to the next 24-page one-shot and see if that connects with the audience a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. True. Well, for me, my artwork was good, but if I really want to seriously compete, I need someone who's just a couple of notches better. So that's why I switched from doing art to storyboards, and then I just pass it off to my guy. I said, "This is what I have in mind." So,
Yeah, no, good point. Yeah.
Do what you got to do to win.
So many awesome covers that Larry had done for that book. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was really good.
They're all there, man.
Well,
there.
These are different books. These were like the early Niobes. All these were done in black and white with a different team. That kind of got us started. We had to level up from here, but
I feel like I need to show. I feel like I need to put mine on screen.
there you go, brother. I mean, when we started out, it was
one-man creative team where I have a lot of respect for.
2 local guys, just doing a comic book, right? But this is what got us to the dance. I mean, this is what the art looked like in earlier Niobes. You know what I mean? Like, it was very much black and white, gray tone, indie style. Quite a lot different from what I just showed you guys a few minutes ago. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we still love it. This is it. This is hardcore indies, man. Like,
that's where it's like, the basic fact is you just got to start. If you don't, I don't know why I soloed myself out. Let's get.
No, it's all right, man. There's not much to see here. I mean, I'm proud of this stuff. I really like, what we've done now. You know what I mean? And where we've gone and how we've leveled up into full color and a little bit of a different art scheme. New variant cover artists. But R.B. White was the guy who did all these beautiful covers.
R.B. White is awesome. Yes. So I want Joe to cue up the Florida Man video. So
yeah, I gotta get the link. Get to it here. Let me see.
Go, Florida Man.
What's that?
Indiegogo, Florida Man.
I'm there. I'm on.
That's all I ever do. I just type in Indiegogo and.
I want to see what David's got in his hand. Can you full screen him?
I'm very unorganized.
David's prolific.
David, my bad. I'm over here. Do my thing. I got you, brother.
This is the cover to issue 12 of the Offspring. I'm sorry, issue 4 of the Offspring.
Nice, brother.
See, now, how do I not know about one?
You want to get it up to issue 12.
Here's issue 2.
Oh, that's a nice one. With the skull in the middle.
On this whole, this is the first time I see what's going on.
Yeah. Issue 1, it's funny.
Offspring is one of those books you keep in print, right, David? You can always get issues of Offspring at Amazon, correct?
Yes, always can Amazon. Here's the trade, the cover.
Nice.
Perfect.
Now, let me ask you put these in a trade. Did you find that was worth it? Because like a lot of people say you should do your first 4 issues and throw them as a trade. I'm like, I don't know if I want to. But what's your experience, Dave?
I have found that it has been worth it. I get some good feedback from individual issues, but the trades are what people seem to connect with the most. I have issue 1 through 4 in trade. I have issues 5 through 10 in trade, And then I'm right in the middle of issue 13, which is going to be like the end issue of this season. I'm going to take a break from Offspring and do some other stuff in the next until the end of the new year. But I'm going to put issues 11, 12, and 13 in a trade along with a one-shot called Shady Lady that I have. And I've actually had a lot of success with the trades. My plan is before the end of the year, hopefully around Christmas time, is to have all 13 issues of season 1, quote unquote, season 1 of the Offspring as one big trade to be able to get. But I've had some good luck with people just getting the trades. So yeah, I kind of heard the same thing. Is it worth putting it all together in a trade? But for me, it doesn't take that long to get it all formatted because you've already got the other issues already formatted and ready to go, and it's a good opportunity to maybe get some different covers out there. So you can do a volume 1 of the trade, volume 2 of the trade, volume 3 of the trade with different color covers to be able to, and then have all that new content inside with the old covers to be able to just give people different options of different versions that they can buy. So I've had some really good success with it.
Let me ask you this. If I'm going to read the book, should I be listening to the Offspring while I read the book?
You can if you want to.
Okay. Right.
I'm a huge Offspring fan. The book has nothing to do with the band, but you're good. And it will probably heighten the experience.
Epic.
And them and Kiss. If you're listening to Kiss, too, you probably heighten the experience there, too.
I'm an old Kiss Army fan, brother. I hear you.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. All the way.
It took me a while to get into them in the 80s when they took their makeup off, and then I was like, okay, this isn't bad.
All right, guys, let's check out this Florida Man video real quick. We got it geared up.
Mike Barron, Todd Mulrooney, Florida Man.
Here's a question. Oh, sorry. You got a video queued up. Never mind.
Ready?
Hey, man, y'all got beer still? You've seen the stories. Now, writer Mike Barron and artist Todd Mulrooney are bringing the quintessential Florida man, Gary Duba, to life. Gary's just a regular guy living in a trailer with his girlfriend Crystal, but he's got dreams, big dreams. He just invented house suspenders that will secure any home to the ground in rough weather. And now he's going to throw them off on Piranha Pool, the TV show where venture capitalists and entrepreneurs pony up if they like your pitch. But when his gal Crystal gains notoriety as an infamous amateur wrestler, she quickly advances to the pro circuit where her greatest challenge is an angry Australian grappler. Follow Gary and Crystal on their extraordinary journey from rags to riches, to rags to riches, to rags to riches, all while dealing with shady lawyers, toilet snakes, wild gators, cheating hearts, feral hogs, and problem shoppers. Back Florida Man today and reserve your very own copy of the Florida Man
House Suspenders.
Bringing back funny books, y'all.
Come on, man.
That's what I call a trailer right there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That should be on TV. Oh my god.
You had me in House Suspenders.
There's no way to not
Pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was.
I lived in Florida for about a decade. That's the house suspenders idea is genius. Genius.
Everybody who backs that book that's in the Comic Related Madness Facebook group gonna get a little something extra. Back that book. Yeah.
Well, Pops, I hear that you're in the book, Pops.
It could happen. Yeah, I think I'm going to be back there in the background doing something at the wrestling match. I don't know. That's where I belong. I like wrestling, so it's kind of fitting. They put me in the right spot, Todd. I totally appreciate you, dude.
Larry's earned his way into the book too.
Yeah, I smuggled my way in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me and you in the same book, Pops. What do you think of that?
That's freaking awesome, dude.
Right?
Hey, you snuck my son in there. My son don't know it. I didn't tell him. I'm gonna wait till the book gets here. I'm gonna be like, damn, looks like you, boy.
Well, listen, Todd, how's the book doing right now? In the last week we spoke, you were climbing up in the numbers. Has it grown much since? Have you guys are you knocking it out of the park, brother? Tell us what's up.
Well, it had a really good growth around the time that Chris Brawley got suspended from Reddit and that news broke. And then some people did videos, those type of videos where they're just doing exposés on, look what happened, this is censorship, yada, yada. It was like Captain Screw Rugal, Heels versus Babyfaces, and Clownfish TV. Tug dropped a video today that talked a little bit about Florida Man, and it had a really huge couple of days there. Now we're doing an average about 350 a day. So it's a steady climb, you know. We have plenty of days left for people to back it.
We're looking for
you're not going to be. Sorry, say again.
Okay, we got 338.
I'd love to get 1,000 backers.
And we're looking for 1,000. That's the goal.
The most important number. Yeah, the most important number there, Larry, you know this, is those backers, because if you make them happy and they open up a box and has a few little things they didn't expect, and you made it an event, because we're not really selling comics as much as we're selling an event, and they open it up, all the anticipation of waiting because your money's on hold until it's completely created and printed and fulfilled, then you make them happy, then that 1,000, well, they'll help you turn that 1,000 into 2.
Yep, absolutely.
That's what it's really about.
That's it, man.
I was going to ask you
get to work with Mike Barron.
How to go about doing that, but I think you answered it very well. If anyone's paying attention and wanting to learn how to do it right, I think that's important.
Well, listen, I mean, this book is written by Mike Barron, who's like basically a legend in DC Comics, man. And not on top of that, but he also did the Badger. I saw back issues of the Nexus, Todd, when I was in the shop the other day. Sure to pick them up, you know what I'm saying? But, we're talking about a man in his 70s who's 70 years old, has been there and done that throughout comic books since what, Todd? The late 70s, early 80s, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so Mike Barron, man, you know the book's going to be well written. The guy, has been around the block. Nice man to chat to, too, man. I had a, blast talking with him. And Joe, if you ever get him on the show, I think you're going to have a blast, brother.
Hey, send me some links and some information on him, and I'll run them down. He said, I'm all about getting the Legends guys on here because they're the ones that set the industry right. You know what I mean? And they're still pushing it. Even if they're getting kicked in the balls for it, they're still like, hey, no, this is the right way to do business. And I have a track record.
Do you think it's too late for Marvel and DC to kind of fix things because they don't seem to care to?
Well, you only fix something if you know it's broken. I don't think Marvel and DC think that they're broken.
I disagree. I think Marvel knows that they've got a little bit of a broken product, but Marvel isn't the company anymore. It's Disney.
Neither one of them is.
Disney is using Marvel specifically, in my opinion, to throw stuff against the wall and see what sticks, so they can use it in other content. And they'll push the social commentary as far as they can and dictate thought. And as things get destroyed and they're like, oh, that didn't work, well, we'll get rid of it. But stuff like Squirrel Girl and other things, if they can get that to work, they'll use it on other content. Yeah, if Marvel Comics fails, Disney doesn't care. They're not losing any money.
It actually just all makes it very boring. Marvel DC are very boring.
What happened? What I saw. First off, you got to realize that even DC, which was corporate with Warner Brothers, is now not AT&T. Which phone? The phone company. AT&T. Yeah. Now they're super corporate. Marvel, obviously, Disney is super duper corporate. So you have these empty suits making decisions and overriding guys like us who are, sitting in not the bullpen anymore, but artists or writers or even editors who love comics and would be having the same conversation we're having right now. They're getting overridden by a guy who's never looked at a comic book in his life, but because he climbed the corporate ladder and his dividends have made more sales for the corporate structure than somebody else's, he can decide, no, we're going to do this with this, and there's a maybe a guy, and I'm just using his name because he's the first one that popped in my head, a guy like Joe Quesada or anybody else sitting there going, no, that's not what happens in the books, or that's not true to the character. The fans, they'll pay their tickets. Don't worry, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter.
I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. So
I completely simplified it. Okay.
But I get what you're saying. I do think that DC is about to start going through some pretty radical changes and fixing up their shop, and a lot of that has to do with, yes, they went super corporate with AT&T, but AT&T invested a hell of a lot of money in the Time Warner deal, and so they hemorrhaged money in that deal, and so now at a point where they're looking at what is the return, and So DC, like that 5G isn't happening. Like 5G was the whole big thing that everyone was kind of like looking sideways and be like, "Are you sure you want to do this? This sounds awful."
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the Time Warner deal happened, and AT&T acquired that. Within 2 months, Dan Didio was removed. Bendis is effectively done. Like Leviathan has been put indefinitely on hold. He's announced that his Superman run is ending. Like it looks very much like everything that they're doing right now is course correction to get it back to a point where they had started to go with Rebirth. Everyone, for the most part, the response to DC Rebirth was very positive. Even Superman had been in their lower selling books through New 52. Superman Rebirth with Peter J. Tomasi on Superman and Dan Jurgens coming back there on Action was the top. They were the top selling books of Rebirth.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But DC has been outside of the issue, though. I think Marvel's the one that has been making the most waves and pissing people off and people having issues with it.
Oh, absolutely.
And DC, for the most part, has been creating interesting characters. They've been doing their thing. But just like anything else, you get drops in sales, people that aren't interested, getting them back to reading comics. And Rizzy, I think I'm saying your name right. Rizzy Lee's made a point of
Rizzy Lee.
Rizzy Lee, no relation to Niobe Lee, Bruce Lee, Jet Lee, Stanley or generally, but we do have it on good authority that he may be related to Motley Crue's Tommy Lee. I know Rizzy Lee very well.
Okay, so the point is that you can't crap on the main two when indies can be kind of crappy also, or be worse. I think that goes into saying, hey, as producers, as you guys are, publishers, making your own books, having a standard even in the indie world is going to be tough because we're all sort of in our own little pockets, our own little spaces of time and all that.
You believe in yourself. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Obviously, when you make a product and you pick your team, you're committed. You believe in yourself. It's really hard to be objective, but you still, what you got to do is find a way to campaign it where you're doing something every day. And it doesn't mean you're on YouTube every day. You know what I mean? You got to be creative. Larry will tell you that I've been doing some really creative things with the Florida Man. Pretty much on the daily, I create something that people are just either laugh about. And it's not meant, I know people have seen it. I know people know where to find it. But it's just to show that, hey, I'm using my talent to continuously hit you with Florida Man, whether I create a meme where I've had to draw a new asset or not. I'm still using my ability, and it's a lot of weight on me to just sort of be the machine, because that's what we all are, right? When you're yourself, even though you're indie, even though there's an indie revolution, you're the machine. You have no advertising. You have none of this behind you. You got to use your money wisely. Facebook advertising is not expensive. It's very, very
no, it's not. It's not bad at all.
So you got to do these kinds of things to get the word out there beyond yourself. We lucked out in the subreddit thing happened, but you got to really go outside the box, create some things, create some buzz. And sometimes you have to bug a few people, but Larry's show is really, really cool. He's got a lot going on behind him. It's full of effects, and I loved it. And he's got a really great energy and atmosphere. So getting on shows like that, regardless of how big or how small they are, get on a show that's fun, then tweet that out or share that video out from his YouTube and get people to watch it. And let them know that, hey, I was on this show. I had a blast. Larry's a great host, yada, yada.
Got to.
Yeah.
I don't even self-promote. I got Todd to do that for me right now.
Y'all got me to do it for you, but you got to give me something to show off. That's,
Appreciate the kind words.
And that's the thing. A lot of these shows like this one are out there literally just to promote. Like, that's the whole reason we exist.
I would love to get on Red Valkyrie if you hear that show.
Yeah, Shay's a really nice woman. I was on her
She's
show.
awesome.
She's good. She'll even cosplay up as your character. You know what I mean?
But to go back to the question about Marvel and DC, I just wanted to close it out by saying I think there is definitely some crapping on Marvel and DC, a little bit of the concern about what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, all I can do is speak for myself personally. Like I'm still taking contracts from Marvel. You know what I mean? Because it's not like I'm saying I hate the company, but it's just like, you know, I just, as somebody who grew up loving it, you just hope for like things to get better. And you,
What do you
you,
like, take
you don't
contracts
say
from Marvel? What do you do for Marvel?
contractually updated soon. How about that?
He's not at liberty to say.
So, like, I'm curious. You know, we got an insider here with what's happening. You know.
No, nothing like that. I'm just saying. My point is that, you know, I don't think people can work for a company and just still hope for the best, and you know what I mean, and then be frustrated with the current product. And that's it's kind of an interesting point, because it's like, okay, well, if you don't like something, I guess modern day logic is cancel it, right? Oh, I hate it, so it's got to be.
So it must be
there's
gone.
there's no middle ground. It's
Stupid.
just cancel it. We hate it, so you know, no more you.
Well, I think the bottom line now is that we vote with our wallets now. If you don't like something, don't buy it. And I've seen numerous books not make the grade, and you know, they get axed. But the problem with comic book market right now is that it's very small, very niche. It's not like it was in the 90s when it exploded and everyone was buying books. You know, we have shops that are closing. You know, if you're doing a comic book now and you got a print run of 30,000, that's probably a success in today's day and age.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. What's up, Pops? What are you timing us out for there?
We're just about done with this first segment. I want everybody to go around and have a chance to throw out what they're into one more time before we start kicking you guys out.
True. Yeah, we got about 9 minutes left, guys. So let's go.
Larry needs to hang out for a minute, though.
Yeah, I'll hang out with you.
Larry too, if he can. He needs to hang out.
Okay. Hey, Alan, why don't you kick us off with some of this, because you haven't talked all that much. Give us a little bit about your history and where we can find you.
Yes.
Me personally?
Yeah, you personally, man.
Oh, well, it's funny, but I'm kind of on a really weird adventure right now, so it's kind of odd. I'm not as established as any of you all, that's for certain, but I did start out predominantly as comics, but it was more centered towards manga. So a large portion of my time before I went into doing some portraits, I spent most of my general time drawing manga. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can read something.
We're on the clock.
Yeah. This is just the third chapter at the moment. At the moment, it's purely just straight up black and white until I can go right back in and just like fill everything, and then just get back into that format. And right now, it's just a bunch of line work. I do try to put a lot of perspective shots in most of my stuff, though, for the most part. And I also try to make it as energetic as possible, because I generally don't like reading boring books that don't have a little bit of humor into it.
Right. One of the things that always made me laugh when we used to hang out and chat about your stuff is that you actually wrote your script after.
I do
crap all the time about that. So you can't write the script after.
I like the pictures done first, and then I like to write the script later. I do the same thing, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
I do too. Yeah, I plop in all the dialogue after I've already gotten it drawn.
Do you?
Right.
Okay. All right.
I have the
Thank you. You've been hounding
You
me
guys
for that
outline
mess.
the movement throughout the story, though, the main story beats, and then you kind of come back with dialogue.
Yeah.
So you do it kind of the Marvel way, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I do
Marvel way. The
my
old Marvel way.
scripting the DC way. I have like, granted, I don't do the art for my books, but like, I literally like go through and I like kind of workshop. All right, how many what kinds of panels do I want on each page? Like what's going to be in each panel, and then I like.
And what book is that?
For Elysian Fields. Every single time that I do writing, it's kind of like I've got a movie playing in my head, and I press pause
It's
on each
anime for me.
Yeah, well, anime. Dude, I'll tell you what, man. Manga. Western comic book writers need to be studying manga. They need to be studying. They need to be studying it. They need to be studying it because
That's why I've been trying to.
man, they are leaving us behind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like in storytelling.
Like Mura's Berserk, or even like from the superhero genre, My Hero Academia.
Right.
Like
My Hero Academia isn't the only superhero story either.
Storytelling.
Okay.
Yeah, and My Hero Academia isn't even the only superhero story. You've got a whole mixture of blends that they put together when it comes to, like, you got a superhero story with Gundams in it, and they call that Code Geass. That's incredibly popular.
In fact, hold on one second. Let me show you guys something.
Hold up.
We're running out. We got 5 minutes. Let's get around the block.
Sorry.
I will do a quick.
We can do another panel tonight, 6:30, and you guys can all come back.
I got you. We got you. Here's a shot of your Elysian Fields.
Yeah, and I actually have the book here with me as well.
Oh, his
good.
Beautiful.
Raw.
That was great.
Very good. Very good. All right, so we're on the clock. We've got to run around. All right, so David, give us here a little bit of your correct hand.
Yeah, you can find me on correcthandedcomics.com, on Facebook at correcthandedcomics. You can find me on Twitter, correct_handed, and you can find me on Instagram at david.whalen.1614. I have my issue 13 of our ongoing series, The Offspring, is about to come out at the end of August, hopefully, unless something weird happens. I've got a 100-plus page graphic novel called The Loved Ones, which is the children of classic movie monsters hunting their parents. I have a 4-issue miniseries called Evolution Utero, which is the worst person in the world being impregnated by a super-powered fetus. I have our first one-shot, 24-page one-shot, a noir thriller called Shady Lady that is deals with a lot of cultural topics that have been in the news the last couple of weeks. I've got my first novel, which is a traditional Western called The Last Ride to Tyburn, and you can find it all on correcthandedcomics.com.
Awesome. Great. All right. And everybody here who's talking and got their links, please go ahead and throw it in the comments at the end of this thing on the Facebook page. Or you guys can type it in now if you have connection to the
group.
chat.
I think you got mine in the group.
So we'll get it in there. Florida Man, we've chatted with you one more time. Could hit us up with your campaign that's still going on.
Yeah, Florida Man is exclusively on Indiegogo. If you're interested in backing it, you have plenty of time, but get in there. There's some cool things if you're part of comics-related madness. We're going to be giving something a little extra to every member that is part of that group, and Pops is going to correlate a list of people. As far as finding me on social media, I use my real name. On Twitter, it's at Marooney Todd. On Facebook, it's Marooney Todd. On Instagram, it's Marooney Todd. So if you're looking for me, or you want to engage me, or ask a question about Florida Man, you want to know a little bit more, I'm going to be willing to engage with anybody that wants to give me their time. I'll give it back to you.
Awesome. And I love that we've now finally chatted and we see each other. I'd love to have you on future shows. The doors are always open for everybody who's on here. Some of you guys have already been on the show, so you guys know that. And as we keep kind of pushing forward. So thank you so much for being on the show. Tim, how about, hey, Pete, do you have one last thing before we close up? We got 2 minutes.
Pete will be on
really quick. I'll be on all weekend.
Hey, Pete, you're done. We're going to shut down this show. Well, actually, we're going to go over a little bit, so Pete, you stay close. Tim, go ahead and close out.
Okay. I'm marketing Melvin #1 on Indiegogo.com. You can find me on Facebook under Timothy Olson. You can find me on Twitter under Timothy Olson. The book is currently still being put together, but I have the crowdfunding going now.
Awesome. Sounds great. Hey, Larry, are you coming through to the con, or are you shutting off here?
I've been asked to stick around for a couple minutes,
okay.
so I'll do that.
Let me go ahead and close this show, and then we'll roll right into the con. All right. Just for anyone this is officially the end of the pre-show. So thank you for David. Thank you for Tim. Thank you for Modern Alicia Fields. Thank you for coming on, David. Appreciate it. Mike.
Thank you very much for having me again.
Been great. So thank you so much. I'm not booting you, but you can't stay here. No, I'm just playing. But I appreciate it. This is now Pop's show. We are going into let me pull it up. If I've got it here. Doom, boom, boom.
I'm about to go get
now officially the start of the Crom Con IV. So Great. They'll be going from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Today. I think that's what is it? Central, and then tomorrow from 12 until 8. So I really appreciate everybody being on during our show. This is the end of the official pre-show, but we're gonna roll right in to Pops and Madness's show. So you guys can take over at this point.
Right.
If I disappear,
I got it.
then I'm just here to hang out with you guys. So let me pop some people in. And Pops, it's all you, buddy. Thanks so much for having us and running the show early on.
Good to see you, Alan.
Great to see you, brother. Take care of yourself.
Larry, wanted to give you a heads up. This is how inspired I was by the artwork, the black and white artwork and the new artwork on Larry's stuff and everything in the story and in general. While we were all chatting, I ordered a blank cover and a couple issues of the book from your website, Larry.
Awesome. Wow. That's great. That's great.
Mind blown, sir.
I'm here for you, brother.
I can't believe I actually get to meet Wendy and Karen Nicole too, man.
That's why I wanted you to hang out for a minute. I was hoping Steph would jump out here because I know you said you wanted to say hi to Steph too, but
I would love to meet and talk to Steph Wilson.
Right. Steph's on his way.
Okay.
But thank you, Pete. Thank you very much.
No worries, brother.
This is officially Crom Con IV, Wendy, Steve, Shaner, and Naughty Fairies. And she's got her whole crew going to come out. Well, most of her crew going to come out and talk about it. And I'm kind of excited because
I'm going to give everybody some space, and I'm going to bail out. I'll be in the background if you need anything. Okay.
All right, Pete. Thanks for coming out.
Hey, Pete.
Bye, guys.
Great artist Peter is. I gotta say.
Now I'm dying over here because every 5 minutes Wendy's coming out with a new cover and a new something, or I think they were 28 stretch goals. They're just killing it, and I ain't even got a chance to back it yet. I will.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
yeah, we're waiting to unlock Kara's new cover. It's the last one of the series.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Beautiful.
That's the one I'm waiting for. See, that's how it is. Kara, I love the hat.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm gonna be in the backstage, so I'll get out of your guys' way, but feel free to enjoy the show. I'll just
Joe, thanks for letting us use your screen, bro.
All right, no worries, man. I'm out.
Peace.
Hi, April.
Hi, Wendy.
April.
We're live from Arizona, from Illinois, in the car.
Nice. Illinois, just down the road.
Yeah, well, a little bit. My aunt has a farm up here, so we're saying hi for the 4th of July and then heading back to Houston. My daughter. Hi.
Welcome to the comic-related madness, Crom Con IV. That's what we're doing.
It's official, Pops. It's underway. The online con, July 4th weekend. You have the Naughty Fairies crew starting to roll on in. Wendy, we have Karen Nicole. I'll tell you this. I discovered Naughty Fairies because you had this Steph Wilson cover that I had to own. That's what drew me in. That's what drew me in, And then going over to Karen Nicole, other than being a top-notch cosplayer, you guys are top-notch artists, man. I've seen your covers. You're blowing me away. That's all him?
Yeah.
No, all her? No, come on now. Come on.
Hey, you got to have a top-notch model to get some top-notch art, right?
No, there's one cover where it's like she's kind of upside down, and like the way it's colored, it's absolutely beautiful, And I can't wait for Fire Bitch. I ordered Fire Bitch, so when I did that,
right. That's everybody.
Fire Bitch turned out amazing.
You should have gotten your Fire Bitch already.
I'm in Canada, and I don't know where any of my packages are.
Yeah, international is nuts right now. 2-3 months, I'm hearing from some people.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to chase down a Lady Death package. I got to chase down my own comic books that are trapped at the border of customs. I had to pay a customs fee. So yeah, I'm in Canada and I have to hunt down. But if you're saying it's already been mailed and on its way, then I'll definitely keep my eye out for it because I had no idea.
I know we recently just received ours, my Lady Death as well as my Fire Bitch. I can't wait to read it.
All right, so Phil Lockler's in the comments. He said, Naughty Fairies in the house. Afternoon, y'all. Now, I don't know if you I know you guys know Phil. I'm sure Kara's been interviewed by Phil and everything. And if you want to send him the link, that's cool. If you want to have him out here too, because he's way better interviewer than I am. Okay, I'm not one of them people who does not bow to a better.
I can interview Pops. First of all, let's find out who April is. April, how do you tie into this whole thing?
I was doing the Inktober thing for Big Dog Ink, and Wendy reached out to me, and I'd seen her stuff at Comic Con before, because I would donate to the poker charity thing that they did at Phoenix Con, and some of the swag that they were passing out, like the card toppers, the little poker chips, and let's face it, it's naughty, stripper, fairies, assassins, all things that definitely appeal to anybody of interest.
Right.
So I love to draw my sexy ladies, and I had kind of wanted to reach out, but I didn't feel like I was good enough. And when she reached out to me, I was just beyond excited.
Did that blow your mind? Because here you are, you're thinking, man, I would love to reach out to these people, do some work for them. And April, I'm gonna have to add you up and see your style, because you're saying sexy ladies. Now you're talking to a guy who loves his sexy ladies, man.
Yes,
so.
Niobe is sexy lady.
You know what? I feel like I can draw just about anything, but when I start to do super masculine, like, I don't know, Captain America kind of stuff, I always feel like I fall short of the level, the bar. But I really feel good about my sexy ladies. So if you haven't seen my stuff, by all means, even if you have the kickback.
I don't have control. I can't make it all big screen. I don't have control.
This is the cover that she did for Naughty Fairies this time. So it's the Koi Fairy. And then if you look at the metal, this is a holofoil. The water moves.
Nice.
Gorgeous.
Nice.
And
you
so
have pretty impressive
the lines on this, and then Kylie Knight did the colors, and it turned out so cool.
Kylie Knight, of course, from Australia, beautiful artist in her own right. I met Kylie Knight because she colored a piece for me. Winnie, let me ask you this: where did the inspiration for Naughty Fairies come from? How did this all start up for you?
You know what? I was looking to do a story that dealt with some social issues, the stuff that doesn't really get talked about. And so I started kind of playing with some different ideas, and Naughty Fairies ended up being born from all of my ideas. So it was more like looking at, this was before like sex trafficking and things like that were coming up. So I was trying to figure out, how can I do a story about like sex trafficking and all of these awful things that are happening in society that are kind of going untalked about. And so I tried to figure out, okay, so where could I have kind of these assassins working undercover to get rid of these awful people? And that's where it started. So my son started having a lot of fun with the whole, like, oh, it's a family business, and you've got a family of fairies that are doing all this stuff. So we just had fun at the beginning, and then it's a dark tale, but I try to put in some humor to make it a little bit lighter.
Now, is this your first tale? Is this your first, foray, say, into the realm of comic books? Have you done comic books before? Is this the first time?
This is really the first time. I did do a kid's book that was a dealing with like bullying, but I had more fun doing the Naughty Fairies series.
So let me ask you this, because I see we've got some new faces here. Of course, I stuck around just so I can say hello to Mr. Steph Wilson, just to let you know. I have nothing to do with Naughty Fairies at all. I'm just saying, I just came for Steph Wilson. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. I have nothing to do with Naughty Fairies. But
where the hell is my love, Larry?
I'm sorry, Risey. How the hell did you end up here? Let me ask you this, Wendy. So you got this idea, you got your story, and now you have to reach out to these artists like a Steph Wilson, like a Kara Nicole, like an April. Was that mind-blowing? Was that daunting? Was that nerve-wracking? Did you have anxiety, or was it like a piece of cake, man? Did it just all flow?
Well, I've known Kara and Alfred for a really long time, so it was really easy to say, hey, Kara, would you be willing to do this? And Kara was like,
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, this will be fun. So, that part wasn't hard. On my first, on Naughty Fairies 1, Ryan Kincaid, Tone Rodriguez, Alex Kotkin, I had some really top-level artists that worked on the project, and it was because they were friends and they were so sweet and supportive. So they were the ones that kind of gave me the confidence that, I can ask these people and everybody's cool. And the comic world is so fantastic. And all the people that I've met have been phenomenal. So when it was time to do book 2, I was able to kind of reach out and ask new people. And I was a lot more comfortable with it. I wasn't too worried because I had already kind of gotten, some covers under my belt and some people.
Dude, I would never be worried. Like, honestly, the best thing you can do is reach out to people. A lot of people are usually stoked that you even reach out to them. So
I'm going to reach out to
nice
Steph Wilson because he clearly wants to say hello to some people. Steph, how are you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, brother. Good,
Hi,
man.
Steph.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I have
Hi,
a cover
Carrie
by
Ann.
you because of Larry.
We have Carrie Ann, who of course colors most of Steph's work. Steph, what's it like to do stuff with Wendy, getting on board with the Naughty Fairies train, man? Take us through that ride.
A train wreck.
Train wreck.
Oh, there it goes. Okay.
She actually, it turns out she actually had sold out of a cover on her art
area where I can actually hear what you guys are saying.
Oh, she lost us.
Hi. Gus, just pull over, hun. Okay. There we go.
Can you hear? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
We can hear you.
She might come in and out of signal because she's on the road there, Steph.
Oh. Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, we can all hear you.
Yeah, we hear you just fine, brother.
Okay. So on Art of Naughty Fairies, which was the art book, she sold out of a cover and needed a cover kind of like last minute, which kind of become like my reputation. Like,
right.
You need a cover in the last few minutes, call me. So she reached out to me a little nervous that she was asking me to do a cover and not giving me a heck of a lot of time. And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So that was the one that Kylie colored. And it was funny because at 2 a.m. that night or whatever, when she was messaging me, because you know how it is, the West Coast has no concept of time zone. So they start messaging you at like 2 a.m. because they just
Americans never understand goddamn time zones.
So at 2 a.m. I was talking to her, and in our first chat ever, which should have been about a cover, she told me about Luna, her bearded dragon, and I was like, oh, you got to send pictures. We just turned this into like a 3-hour friendship fest of sending pictures back and forth and chatting all night. So from then on, that was it. I was on Naughty Fairies from then on.
Well, let me ask you this. How long does it take you to bang out a cover, Steph? Someone calls you up the last minute. Steph, need a cover, ASAP. How long has Steph Wilson got to do it, man? How's that work?
Literally, I can, if you need a cover, like
Crazy, Larry. Crazy.
I guess the fastest I've ever done it was Ron Zavala reached out for me for a cover one time, and I literally roughed it out in like 10-15 minutes and sent it back to him, which just blew his mind. I posted it out and everything else like that. It was rough, and then I finished it later that day, and he was just like, oh, that's amazing. So, it depends. If the idea is there or the character is a piece of cake and it's, not a huge background, obviously if it's background, it's going to take a lot more time to fill in all the background.
Or feathers?
What's that?
Or feathers?
Oh, yeah, feathers.
Feathers. Love your feathers, Steph.
Let me cut in real quick.
Waterfalls, cityscapes. Like, it's all about the girl, more girl, less background.
Booyah!
Yes.
Now you're getting it. This is what makes comics sell.
Right?
I've been following Steph now for a while, since kind of before Steph blew up. And I can remember talking to him like back my last account before Facebook killed it, talking about all of the work that he was putting out. And it was like, then all of a sudden it was covers. First it was just, you can get this on eBay, you can get this on eBay, you can get this on eBay. And then all of a sudden, Steph's everywhere.
Right.
And it's like, I'm really, I just want to say congratulations, man, because you like blew up in 1 year, like boom, blew up,
Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, it was crazy because all I was doing was fan art sketches for the longest time, and and I was selling the crap out of them on eBay, and then I was selling them on
I missed
Facebook.
out on so many that I wanted because they were like sold before you were done.
Oh yeah,
it was like I'm waiting to see how it turns out, and it's like, oh, that one's sold.
Yep. My favorite was I put a blank page up there, said I'm going to draw something, and it was sold.
Yeah.
I didn't even put it on paper yet. Didn't matter. It's just like
I'm
like, this is what I'm gonna draw, and people were bidding.
That is good marketing, my friend.
It was crazy. He just blew up.
We wanted to share some of the covers that the different people have worked on and done. I've got this really great piece that Kara and Alfred did. Alfred did the lines, and it's a wraparound cover. So this is the one side, and then this is the other.
This one's gorgeous.
It turned out so cool, and we're doing a really cool. We're trying a new holofoil that's going to show like the explosion coming out from this side. So when you open it up and you move it, it's going to go like this out. It's a really cool effect. I'm waiting on the mock-up on it. But they did a great job on this piece.
Joe, give me a blow up. There you go. Now,
and then I've got some cosplay covers from Kara. This is her mirror cover.
Ooh. Yeah. Uh-huh. We know. We posted it in the group as soon as we saw it. We were like, oh, look at Kara.
For this one, normally this particular character, Kara, the first time she did the cosplay for it, she made white wings. And for this one, for book 4, she did the black wings.
I really like that one.
And they turned out so cool.
Yeah.
And I haven't even shown you the naughty one yet.
Oh, there's a naughty one? Damn.
That's not naughty.
So, Kara, you just rock these, girl.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Kara, let me ask you something. You get this request. You have to like be an angel. These huge black and white feathers. Like, how long does it take you to put something like that together, Kara?
Well, the first time I did it, I didn't have a lot of time and I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. I'm going to tell you right now, Alfred's over here mocking me. So feel free to, recognize his creative talent as he just mocks everything I do and say. I'm going to pick my nose at some point and stick it in his mouth. And so I looked up online and I couldn't really find a tutorial for that particular type of wing. So I found a woman who made them, and I was thinking about actually just ordering her wings. They were so glorious. And she was actually out of Russia, and it would have taken too long. And so I just looked at every detail and tried to recreate it the best I could. And they're very lightweight. So if you look close enough, you'll see that I made them out of packing foam. So like that stuff you put in between your dishes when you move.
You actually have a tutorial
I
about
do.
how to make these wings, and I thought that was like something that was really cool. That like even like when they put out there, like
Yeah.
let's get some wings made, people.
So I learned from that in order to make the black wings. But the black wings, that material is a little thicker and heavier. So I had to condense it down a little bit. I learned a lot. I switched from E6000 to contact cement, things like that. But it took me about a week the first time because I was figuring it out. And then the second time it took me, 3 days, 2.5 days.
And she was such a trooper. Some of the fumes from these things are a little bit on the
That's what
dangerous
keeps
side.
them going. You just get high enough from all the.
She actually like set up a tent outside and went out there like in the Arizona heat. We have like over 100-degree days now. So
Yeah, I couldn't film, so I would have.
film. The camera just
gone
got
live, but
so hot.
It just gets it gets too hot out there. It was 102 that week that I was out there, so I couldn't film it.
Ruben, sir, how are you? Yeah, you're on mute. There you
I was
go.
on mute. Yeah, no, I'm good. I have kids, so they could start screaming at any point, so I keep myself muted.
Ruben, let me tell you something. I'm seeing your art all over the place as well. How did you get involved with the Naughty Fairies crew here? Take me through that story. Chat me up.
So we met. I met Wendy a few years back, and I think it was it Ventura Comic Con?
It was that show. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we met at Ventura.
Yeah, and we kind of similar to Steph. She's just very friendly. So we built up a relationship, from there. And then last year at WonderCon, she approached me and asked if I would be willing to do a cover. So of course I'd seen the success that she had already, and of course I know a lot of the artists that have been working with Wendy as well. So I jumped all over that. And this was actually the cover that I did for Naughty Fairies Stripper Assassins #3. And that's
Can you hold that up again, Ruben? I was actually looking the other way.
It's
Oh, damn, man.
Dude, leave some room for background in that one.
Look at that face, though. That's like my favorite Ruben cover.
Brother, I love this one, man. I absolutely love that one.
It turned out so beautiful.
Yeah, I was really excied because I had, at that point I had seen Sanju's work, and I'd been wanting to work with Sanju, but I hadn't really gotten an opportunity. And so when I finished this one, I reached out, and everyone here, I'm sure, can vouch for Sanju. He's just an awesome person. And I was a little intimidated because I'm like, he doesn't know who I am. Is he even going to, entertain the opportunity? But he was really willing to do it and knocked it out pretty quickly as well. So I was excited.
Dude, I'm excited for all you guys. Wendy, this thing is just blowing up, right? You guys are in the midst of another Kickstarter, are you not?
Yes, we've got Naughty Fairies #4 going on Kickstarter live now. We are cross-promoting with Scorpiana 2, Lily the Demoness, and Totally Rad Life of Violet #3. So if you back Naughty Fairies and any one of those campaigns, or all 3, you end up getting some free bonus stuff. So I love doing the cross-promotions with the different projects. Just building our comic community and making it more of a family. I wanted to share Ruben's pieces really quick because these are different than his usual style. And he did the colors on this as well.
Oh, gorgeous.
Colorful. It turned out so pretty. And then he also did the nude version. Well, she's topless because there's just a little bit there.
I want to ask you about this. I'm very curious about this. I get an artist, one of my artists, he's always on me about, and it's not stuff, okay, but he's always on me about doing nude cover, right? He's like, you got to put out a risque cover, you got to do a nude variant, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. I like my sexy covers, but I don't know if I want to cross the line. What made you decide that, hey, this is what we're going to do?
Well, there's stripper fairies. I'm kind of like, we kind of need to have them a little bit more, topless, nude, and risque, because that's kind of what they do. So it was kind of an easy
choice. Now, do you find that those covers are extremely popular?
Yeah, those are, if I have a naughty and a nice, it's generally the naughty that sells out before the nice covers.
Before the nice. What do you think?
Usually because they are like really amazing. They're
beautiful. Pretty. And I really try to make sure that they're tasteful, they're elegant, they're beautiful. I mean, this one here, she actually pops off of the foil.
No comment. No comment.
Because it's got like a 3D effect. So
Oh, so how many days, Wendy, are left on the campaign right now?
We have 15 days left.
Okay.
And I still have more covers to reveal. I've got Kara Nicole's final cover. I have a new artist that just joined us. He's getting his art team today. And
any name you can spoil, or any exclusives you can drop?
And things like that. So I still have more surprises to come.
Anything you can reveal to us right now? Something that you haven't told anyone yet. You can drop right on us.
Oh. A Crom Con exclusive. Come at
me. Yeah. Can we have an exclusive of it?
I'm sure Steph can draw something right now.
Right?
No, I'm not sure. Only because we are so close to meeting our next stretch goal.
Okay, so
once we meet that stretch goal, then I can share it. And we're talking
hold on,
150 away from that stretch goal.
Wendy,
so I want to keep that one.
Can I ask a favor though? I know you're going to hit that stretch goal today, but could you hold off on let Kara show it tomorrow when she's on in the evening?
I'm sorry, what?
Kara's going to be on tomorrow evening as well in the con.
Oh,
And
okay.
if you stretch goal, could you wait and let her show it off? You could come out.
No, she can show it off. I'll have Kara do it.
Con exclusive. Kara would be showing off. You can come out too. You know,
yeah.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
We can do that.
All right.
And then I have Steph's covers.
I have a cover?
How many covers does Steph have?
I
in
think
this
we've got
thing?
one or two.
100 now.
Focus on everything. Everything.
Steph, how does it feel to be so popular? I mean, Steph Wilson, you are indeed everywhere. You know, everywhere I look on Facebook, independent comic book community, seemingly there is a Steph Wilson cover. You must be like the busiest man in independent comic books right now.
Yeah, once you factor sleep out, like if you stop sleeping, it's amazing what you can do.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's
because I work cheap.
Oh, sorry, Steph.
No, go ahead.
One of the things that Steph's really good at is coming up with ideas or suggesting things and then having to draw them immediately. So,
your logo.
There she is.
There we
There
go.
you go. There's our exclusive. We have
Hold that
our
up
new
nice.
Naughty
Yeah, there we
Fairies logo.
Coming out. Still working.
Steph, Crom needs a girlfriend. My little green troll, he needs a girlfriend, man.
Unfortunately, Crom's girlfriend
Ooh.
somebody else.
Yeah,
Damn,
Very
man.
pretty. Yes, this is Lady Death.
That might be a little bit out of Crom's league.
Really
bro.
nice.
Now,
How
Steph,
you didn't get that, Pops, just blows
I got
my
a question.
mind.
Steph. That Lady Death you just showed us, is that a commission or is that something official? I mean, that was a beautiful piece, brother.
It's not official
It
yet.
was. I threw it together on my live drawing show, and while I was drawing it, I said, "Just message me if somebody wants it." And somebody picked it up for probably about $100 less off my commission rate. I was impressed too as to how it turned out. I thought it turned out fantastic. So somebody got a good deal. But yeah, usually when I do a live draw show like that and I do a drawing on there, it's usually I don't charge full price like a commission for that because I'm just drawing it for fun, and then I just have people message me if they want it.
So
Carrie Ann, how busy is this man?
Extremely busy.
How do you keep up,
Really
Carrie
does
Ann?
not sleep.
Does not
need
sleep?
my sleep. But he doesn't come to bed. It's 2:00 in the morning, and he gets up at 6 with me in the morning when I go to work. So
not right.
he really does not sleep.
And you color most of his pieces, right?
Yes.
Now, how did you get involved doing that? Was it just like you got so busy, you just decided, I'm going to help you out and learn how to do this? Like how?
Well, I have a graphic background, so it wasn't too hard of a stretch. But I got into it just to do some inking for him and do some formatting, and then I started coloring, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Listen, guys, I'm going to bail out, but I had fun just kind of interviewing you and playing around a little bit. I just really wanted to be on a program and say hello to Steph because I never actually talked to Steph on video before and say hello to him. I mean, this is really Pop's show. Pop knows where to find me if he ever needs help with a little bit of interviewing. But I love doing this, and I love what you guys are doing, man. I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Of course, I'm going to be sharing the hell out of your project, and I recommend that if you can't back the stripper fairies, at least share the project out. Put it on your Twitter, put it out on your Instagram, put it out on your Facebook. I mean, that helps tremendously. We want to see everyone succeed. I want to see all these guys succeed. And I just want you guys to have a great show. And 15 days left. Get on it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you, bro.
See you later, Pops. Thanks for having me on the show, brother.
Hey, you bet, man. Thanks. Now, I do have to go out and say this, okay? I am not a reviewer, interviewer, or any of that. I started doing this just because of circumstance. And I wanted to help all my friends that were in my group that weren't going to cons, setting up tables. And I'm new to all this. I'm not industry. Well, I'm becoming industry, but I mean, I'm not somebody that has a background in it. I'm an old school comic collector that suddenly became a con promoter and suddenly became a comic book character. And it's just like blown up on me in like 6 months. But I want you guys to tell me about everything. I mean, I know each one of you is putting so much into this project. I see so many different covers. Every time I turn around, it's like Wendy putting up something else, and I'm like, you guys blow me away, man. This you're what you guys popped out this time is huge, you know. And I want you to know, as a collector and as a fan, I totally appreciate that kind of effort and that kind of self-promotion, because that makes what I do really easy. You guys, you put something up, you're excited about it, and I go, all right, I can be excited about this. You got to check this out. You know, I can get excited, and that helps move things. You know, I mean, when people are excited about it, then other people want to see it and want to see what the excitement's about. And what you're doing right now is in line with the Polito platform of fun and entertainment, and make it and more. Buy it, you get more. Buy it, you get more. That's what hooked me into the Lady Death coffin model. That's what hooked me. You know, give me more. And you guys are doing it, and it's obviously paying off. I look at all the stretch goals and I'm like, damn, blowing it up.
Yeah, stretch goals are like our thing. That's like super important to the Naughty Fairy campaigns, is making sure people get lots. There you go. That's just from the last campaign. We had about, I think it was 25 stretch goals, and we've actually beat that one, and we still have 2 weeks left. So there's more stretch goals coming. There's more goodies. I put them close together because I want to keep that excitement going. And, you know, it's another stretch, it's another cover. We're doing the covers and the releases. Oh, Kitty over there.
I see it. I see it.
Sorry, squirrel. So look at.
Sorry, he's just one Felix.
That's all right. I'm surprised I don't have a wolf in my lap. He usually makes an appearance when I'm online.
But each campaign, we keep trying to come up with new things that we haven't done before. And one of the things that we hadn't done yet were metal covers. So we did metal covers, and they're not just metal covers, but they're jeweled covers. And when we decided to do this set, Steph and Carrie Ann were so excited. They were so on board that when they did the piece, they made sure that they left those jeweling opportunities for Shannon to do.
And that's the same. That's the same guy that's doing,
cool.
doing it for Coffin, right? Those jewels.
Yeah, Shannon does the jeweling for Coffin. So I mean, you know that the quality on these it's just going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we decided to do the theater set. This was Steph's actually. This was more Steph's idea, and like those old theater stages. And then we had it as the connecting piece. So you've got like the cardboard clouds on this side and the waves on this side. Sorry. So when they join, you know, with the dragon going in between the two pieces.
Nice.
Because we do have the two fairies, and they are in this story, they're in different places. So they're not together. And that's part of their journey in the story. And then we have the Naughty set and then the Asia cover. So this was our Naughty set that Steph did and Carrie Ann.
I just love their work. I just love their covers. I really do. I kick myself in the butt all the time because I didn't jump on one of those early steps. You know, those ones that everybody else got and I didn't get one. I kick myself in the ass all the time for not jumping on one of them back then. I really do.
Thank you.
Or not jumping in time, I should say. Because I tried to jump a few times. I tried to jump on Electra. I tried to jump on Leia. I didn't get no luck. They were gone every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff goes quick.
Yes.
This one is the Asia. This cover turned out so cool. This is the Asia homage cover, and it is the most jeweled of the pieces. There's 85 Swarovski crystals on this piece. And this one, it just turned out so pretty.
That is awesome.
Now, I guess I do have one I can share with you that we haven't revealed as a cover yet. So, Pops, if you're ready for your exclusive, I can share it with you.
I'm ready. I am so
Okay,
ready.
so this one hasn't been released yet.
That's beautiful. Y'all cover up from the naughty bits. TV.
Sorry.
No, I'm telling
you. Know, I don't know. I guess I just don't think about it anymore.
I know, right?
It's
the body is beautiful.
There.
The body is beautiful.
Sorry.
I don't mind.
I don't want to get kicked off of Facebook for showing them.
Yeah, see, I don't mind personally. You guys know I share everything in my group, and nobody complains because everybody appreciates what we're doing there. I have never had one person report anything in my group that they, that was, oh, you shouldn't be. Never, not once. So you guys all feel free to show what you want to show in our group. I mean, I keep the grandkids off to the side. They're up here sometimes, and they know it's like, okay, you can't come see right now. You gotta go away. They know.
Right. So that was the con experience. So that was the last Kickstarter.
That's awesome.
And that one we had a lot of fun with.
I love doing like the sketches and sending them to you to do to the campaign. If you ever need more, you let me know. I'm all in.
Those turned out so cute. She did these little sketches for me and then put glitter on them and the little kiss mark in the corner. They turned out so cute.
They were awesome.
So we actually have 3 of April's sketches that she did for this campaign there are sketch trading cards that we set up. So we've got 3 of them that she did. They're so cute.
Oh, it's some of my best work, I swear.
They turned out so cute. I mean, they've got the fringe on the boots, and she's got the thingies. Oh, it's just darling. Super cute. So we have so many different pieces, so many different covers. So if there's a style that you like or you're interested in, this is the place to go.
Yeah. I was just going to say that.
You'll find. Hey, Karen, do you let Alfred talk at all?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking.
I still need to get your shirt, Kara.
So this is also the first time that I got a cosplayer to do the other fairy, because Kara is my official Aislinn cosplayer. She's been on covers 1 through 4 now, the art and the swimsuit edition. So I was like, okay, look at all these. These are with her white wings.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I actually made that costume for the steampunk.
The steampunk, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, continue. Yes, I'm very excited. I was saying, you got to show this next one that you're going to show.
So December Lace offered to do a cosplay set for Maven, who is the other fairy. So here's hers. She did this one and she did this one. So we have the cover set from December. She had so much fun with it, and I'm super excited how well they turned out. There's our current Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So we're looking and Kara was so sweet. She offered that when we hit our 300 backers, she will sign stretch goals and covers. So we've got that, and we're close. We only need 27 backers in 2 weeks. You think we can get there?
Oh, you'll get there. There's no doubt. That's what my group does, is make sure people get funded. That's what we do.
I'm so excited because it's just everybody is really supporting, and we're sharing each other's stuff out, because Kara still has her Confessions of a Cosplay Diva, and that's on Indiegogo. And then, like I said, we're cross promoting with Lily Demoness, CB Zane, and Scorpiona 2, and Totally Rad Life of Violet with Jim Noble. I've got
covers with all those.
You guys, we get him a nickname. Jim Noble is Tiberius. That is his nickname. Do not let him slide out from under that. That's what we call him. Stick to it. He is our Kirk. And ask him to do a Captain Kirk impression for you too.
We will. There we go. So on Totally Rad Life, Kara and Alfred both did covers, and Kara did a cosplay for Jim's campaign.
Yes. And it, yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's a trick one too.
That's,
So
the one, that's the one Larry was talking about.
So if you take the
show me that. That's the one Larry was talking about, where you're upside down.
So yeah.
Oh, we know. It's got that
That's so cool.
that awesome cover. That's what I call those cover-up covers.
Right.
You know, they're perfect.
So we've got some covers by Sanju. He did the lines as well as the colors on these. And it's a set. You can get them individually, or there's a set of 3. So you have the regular cover and the risque with the lace and the lingerie, and then there is a nude cover.
Looks great. They look great.
He did a beautiful job on these, and we have as our challenge coin has been kind of our big stretch goal that is coming up. So I'm looking at it being like our $20,000 stretch goal. We finalized a design last night. Sanju and CB Zane are going to be the heads and tails of the challenge coin. And I'm super excited. So I'm hoping that after this stretch goal gets met, then I'll be able to start sharing out that challenge coin for when that starts to come to be. So I'm super excited to get that.
I might have to talk to you about the challenge coin thing later, because we kind of have a thing in the book that I'm involved in where we Easter egg challenge coins.
Oh, very cool.
Okay, so once you have it, if you don't mind, maybe in the next book we'll Easter egg your challenge coin.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be totally cool.
You watching, Raj? Paying attention? Pops is taking care of business. That's what I do. Network. That's what I want. Everybody to be doing things together and enjoying each other's work, you know.
Yeah, we have, I mean, it's so awesome. The community and the artists that were involved in Naughty Fairies, we have all been super supportive of one another, sharing each other, promoting one another. I really am so excited to see how much each one of us has grown, and each one of our campaigns have just swelled from one to the other. And I really believe it's because we've built a community within the comic book world that was not there. It was very, I felt like when I started 2 years ago, it was like, oh yeah, that's really cool that you're doing that, but you know, we can't share each other's stuff because I don't want to lose my backers to your project. And when I came in, I'm like, no, I want to share yours. I want to do this cross-promoting thing. I want to rise everybody up together, because your backers and my backers are the same backers. They're going to back yours when they're going to back mine. It doesn't matter. So why are we trying to segregate them and keep them all separate? It's all about coming together as a group and coming up, because, you know, we all know the big two. The world is kind of dominating right now, and we're taking over because we are working together and we're not trying to fight.
Yeah.
So and I'm seeing it more and more. I'm seeing more creators and more artists and being more willing to work together. And it is showing in the comic world. And fans are respecting that and enjoying that too, because when they do the cross promoting, they're benefiting from that as well.
Right. I was going to ask you, okay, because we got 2 other groups of comic creators that are like kind of getting under a banner right now. You got the Third Empire that has Blood of Gods, Age of the Remnants, Mojo Rising, 6-7 titles under Third Empire. You got Terraform Comics that just formed, that Varian Grant, Randy Zimmerman, Katrina Rowitz, that they're putting together, and they got a group of creators coming under their banner, and it's like we're kind of creating new banners. Do you have a banner that you are bringing your people under? What are you going to call your banner?
We're going to stay with Naughty Fairies because I think it works.
I mean,
I hope so.
I don't mean changing titles. I mean, that's one of your titles. That's one of your titles. I'm saying other titles. Like, are you going to bring Fire Bitch, Confessions of a Diva? Are you going to bring these other books that your people are doing and put them all under one banner?
At this point, that's not where I'm at right now. I just like the collaboration of coming together, because I know like Kara has 183 Degrees Studios, and that's her and Alfred. Right. I don't want to just be like, okay, I'm taking your thing.
No, that's not what I mean. It's like for Third Empire Publishing, they have Outlaw Studios and Russell Oldham's Age of the Remnants. They just brought all those studios under a banner that they're promoting everybody's work under.
Well, I'm not there yet.
It's kind of like what you're doing, but they put a name over the top of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Wendy, you're doing it right, and you've got such support from not only the comic community, but the artists that are creating it. So if you ever wound up doing something like that, you might have a lot more support than what you think.
There you go.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, no, I haven't thought about that yet.
It's like there's nothing wrong with having a new big 2 or a new big 3. You see what
I guess I'm still a little. I see myself still as a little fish in the big pond, and I'm just loving my comic family. I mean, my Naughty Fairy family is amazing, and I love them all so very much.
Maybe that's the banner, Naughty Fairy family.
There we go, the Naughty Fairy family. But yeah, I mean, I haven't got that far ahead right now. It's just being happy where I'm at, and watching the indie community just grow and work together.
I'm just letting you know, stuff snowballs downhill really fast when people like what you're doing, and you just may end up with, you know, a little more than you bargained for, like I did. You know what I mean? I started this group, it was just a collective group. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that's something to think about in the future. And right now, let's just get through my Kickstarter. We'll take it one step at a time.
Are you a little bit nervous about the fulfillment end, all the shipping and packaging? And
No, that's like my favorite part. And I always say this, but when I do all of the packaging myself and all the shipping. I sit down and I have it all laid out in my living room. My pool table gets taken over. You know, the kitchen table gets taken over.
Yeah, there's a box.
You
need to work. You buy her book, okay?
But I love it.
She likes it. We need more backers. She needs more work. Lorenzo.
Hello.
How are you
doing? Guy here. I love it. Yeah.
I've been listening to you guys for a while. I was here waiting.
I was just getting ready to show your covers. Do you want to see them? I've got the mock-ups.
Yes, please.
All right.
Let me put the other eyes on.
Blow that up, Joe.
All right, come on, good, huh?
It sure did.
So this is the regular cover. And then we have the naughty.
I don't remember painting that green stuff.
The green stickers. So we're safe. And then we did, this is your gold edition.
Oh, that's awesome. Come on, great.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, you got it going on over there, Wendy. You got it going on over there. I think you're onto something a little bigger than you thought. It's gonna get bigger.
Well, let's hope so. That would be awesome. Lorenzo, when I I finally worked up the nerve to talk to him. He's one of the ones I was so nervous to talk to. And he was so sweet. And Tanya was so sweet. We were at, was that Arizona?
Was Arizona, and I have to tell, Wendy is absolutely impossible to deal with. No, yes, it was Arizona.
I had just gotten a Lady Death book to have my husband, for my husband to get it signed by Lorenzo. And I'm walking over, and I walked by his booth like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, oh, I don't want to bother him. He's so busy. And so I finally, he looked like he was at a break point, like he wasn't busy with anything. So I walked over and I asked him to sign it. And then like I went back probably 20 minutes later and I said, you know, do you do commissions? Do you do cover work? And we talked for a little bit. And I ended up buying the barbed wire print, the beautiful, it's like 24 by 36. It's beautiful. And I said, can we do this as a cover? And he was like, absolutely, sure, whatever you want. And I was just like, I was smiling so big, and I thought my face was gonna burst because I was so excited. I was so happy. And so then we talked about it and we collaborated on that one, and him and I both worked on that. So for the blue winged version, I took Lorenzo's original and we reworked it with the wings, and he was guiding me through it. So when he saw me the following week in Vegas, I was like, okay, look, here it is on the iPad. What do you think? And he's like, I'm not drawing on this with your what was it, crappy signature.
Yeah, well, it was the signature was something.
So it's been awesome. And to work with Lorenzo, he's a phenomenal human being. One of my favorite people, and he has offered to sign as one of our stretch goals when we hit 250 backers. He is going to sign stretch goals and books.
I have markers ready.
Awesome.
So I'm just so honestly, I'm so excited and so thankful to have the artists that I have met and become friends with, you know, and who I love each and every one of you guys, and you guys are all in my heart, and it means so much to me that you're part of this project. I cannot thank you all enough for all that you do, because I just have my little Naughty Fairy series, and you guys have all leveled it up to something that's just been amazing, and I thank you all. To have you all in the same room, I want to cry. I'm just
Community blows you up, okay? Because I was just a collector guy, and I've gotten so much love for all the stuff I've been doing, you know, the cons and stuff, trying to help you guys. I've gotten so much love from people, and it's like, this community is the best community there is, you know, and we all need to remember that this is the best community there is. I just like you said, I love all the people. I love their work. Everybody that comes out to these cons, everybody that supports you guys, backs your books, you know, that's what this is all about. I mean, they kind of took away a whole lot of our comic thing the last few months. Okay, I had quite a few things in my pull box and stuff. Now I don't have that much because this gone digital, that did this did that, that's gone, you know, and it's like now I'm down to very few things in the box. Now it's all, I'm looking at everything I'm promoting and going, I need to get this, I need to get this, I need to get this. And this indie thing is blowing up, and we need to keep supporting it, keep promoting it. Cody,
how's it going, guys?
I don't know if you know Cody from Comic Chat Authority. He does comic reviews. He's my next guest coming out right after you guys. I just thought if he had any questions he wanted to ask any of you, I let him come out and drop something on you real quick before you leave. But he froze.
That's okay. I want to thank, you know, all the backers who have been part of the Naughty Fairies, from whether it's book 1, book 2, you know, from each of the campaigns. I have developed such amazing relationships with the backers. It's not just my artist family, you know. Naughty Fairies is the backers too. And without my backers and without my supporters, and I would not be able to do this project. So, you know, it is more than just, you know, one or two people on this. This is huge, and it's so many people involved and supportive, and you guys are just amazing. And
How many days are left in the campaign, Wendy?
15.
I missed it.
15 days are left.
Yeah, 15 days.
15 days. Wow, that's fantastic.
There's lots of time. I get promoted a lot. There's lots of time. I was just gonna say, you're really good at promoting. Your self promotion is solid. You get it out there. You get it seen, and that matters a lot. That you're getting it out there. You know.
Well, thank you. I mean, I don't see my family during Kickstarters because I'm stuck at a computer, whether it's promoting, sharing out, making a graphic, talking to different people. I am constantly doing something with the Kickstarter, and everybody's like, oh, just take the day off, you're doing fine. And I feel like if I take the day off, I'm letting somebody down.
That's me. I remember after I did my very first con, I was like, I'm going to take the next day off. I was going to take Monday off, and I wasn't going to do anything on the computer. And I had people hitting me up on Monday to be in the con next month. I didn't even get to take the day off. I spent the day scheduling my next con.
Yeah, Steph says it best. There's no sleep in comics.
Yeah, that's how it's been. I promote. I get up every morning. I come out here. I answer messages. I go out. I start promoting, you know, and I pretty much do it till I go to bed, you know. And it's not just like my con. It's everybody's books. I do everything. I love being part of the business and not doing business. It don't cost me nothing. It don't cost nobody else nothing. I just to get to have fun and show off comics and meet all you guys. You know, it's like the cons for me have been a big fanboy experience. Every time I'm meeting someone I've never met before, I'm fanboying out. It started, you know, the first one I think we interviewed Brian Polito, and that was like, oh my God. And then the next, you know, every time it's been somebody else. This time I get Karen Nicole. Steph. I've been wanting to talk to Steph for a long time, and I finally get, you know, this is awesome. This is what it's all about.
I'm so thankful, Pops, to you for allowing us all to come. Because, you know, when I message you and I'm like, oh yeah, we're all gonna come, and you're like, okay, that sounds good. And I'm like, well, there's a whole bunch of us, and you're like, well, how many? And I'm like, oh, a whole bunch.
And Joe fixed this for me because my StreamYard still only does 6 people, but Joe let us stay on his to do your segment too, so we could get everybody out. I appreciate that, Joe. Comics Cast is you know, I mean,
I'm sorry I had that connection at the beginning.
I'm glad you were able to make it, April.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and bounce. Thank you so much. I'm going to get back to our little weekend getaway. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
And you guys can keep talking until Cody finds his way back out here because he's my next guest. So, you know, we have a little more time. Well, there he is. Okay, Cody, are you there?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I've been waiting and listening.
Oh, you go ahead, man. If you have any questions for Wendy, or if you want to set up maybe a review or something, because I
really don't have
Play Diva, Fire Bitch. There's all kinds of books in this here group of people. So, you know, I mean, you get a chance to do your thing, bro.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm Cody Johnson from Comic Chat Authority. We review comics and interview people. I think we interviewed Kara up there. We interviewed a bunch of different people, but what do y'all got going on right now? Because I don't know. It's hard to see the names.
Oh, we're
Who's
Naughty
in
Fairy
here?
Super Assassins. We're on book 4. We're currently on Kickstarter. So we've got 15 days left on our campaign. We're doing great. We've unlocked 28 stretch goals at this point. And yeah, we're still going. So there's still more covers to release. We've got more stretch goals, and I have an amazing artistic team that has just been phenomenal.
Oh, nice. Where can people get the first 3 books?
You can get them on the Kickstarter. I have catch-up packages available. So you can get the basic 1, 2, and 3. And you can also get the swimsuit edition and the art.
Oh, sweet. So what's the book about?
It's about a family of time-traveling fairies that have been honing their skills to assassinate a demon warlord who has not only murdered their family, but has been wiping out the fairykin.
Oh, wow. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, and I mean,
I'm impressed. Like you summed up in 3 sentences.
Huh?
I'm sorry?
I didn't get.
I think
Are
you
you
went
talking to me?
in Lorenzo.
No, I was just saying the book sounded interesting. Might have to check that out.
It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. It deals with a lot of really dark kind of social issues that have been happening in society. It deals with kidnappings. We've dealt with rape. We've dealt with human trafficking, things that aren't necessarily discussed openly, but are like elements within the story, but not like thrown in your face. They're there, but it's not pushed.
It's just outside the storyline. We're aware of it, but we're not lecturing you on how
Exactly. Exactly. It's there. It's something that gets dealt with because the fairies go and they are taking care of the bad guys. Their hired contracts is to get rid of these people doing these awful things, but it's not being lectured or preachy.
All right, that sounds cool. How many issues do you plan on doing for the whole series?
For this first storyline, I'm doing 6, and then I'm gonna move into a different, either continue the story depending on where we end up, or revamp and do like a volume 2 and start again. So it'll be a different run of it.
All right, that sounds pretty cool.
I don't know if you guys can hear me. The audio here is very choppy, so I say bye to everybody and happy 4th of July. I don't know if you can hear me because I can barely hear you guys.
Yes, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. Thank you.
We actually have to take off too.
Thank you. Thank you, Kara. Thank you, Lorenzo.
We'll see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Hold on.
You guys are awesome. It was awesome having you all out. Seriously. We can go for a little while longer if you want, or we can kill this and Cody and I can go over to our own stream. It's up to you guys. If you want to just stay out here for another half hour, it's all good.
Yeah, actually, we got to go, Pops.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Steph Carey.
Love you, Wendy.
All right.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Hi, Ruben.
Bye.
Ruben.
Hi, Ruben. Thank you so much.
Wendy.
All right. So
Ruben.
I'm going to head out. Thank you guys so much for having us on. We really appreciate it.
It was great. I appreciate you guys so much. Ruben,
Thank you, Ruben.
thanks for joining the group. Post your stuff all the time. Feel free.
Got it. Thank you so much.
You bet.
I'll go ahead.
Bye, guys.
Okay.
So what do you want to do? You want to switch over to the other stream? We can do that. Let Joe's stream go and go over to my stream. And
it don't matter.
I mean, I just want to make sure you. I want to make sure you know.
Yeah, you made me nervous, man. You put me on the spot with like 6 people, and I'm like, oh man.
See, that's live TV, bro.
Right? Yeah, I've never done anything live. Usually, we always do it behind the scenes.
See, you're used to that editing. I'm used to we got to come out here and just the show must go on. Ain't that right, Joe?
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out, but I wanted to make sure that everybody knew where you guys were going next.
Yeah,
so go ahead and tell them
up in the
what
group.
your pick is gonna be.
I'm gonna pop it right back up in the group and share. You know, if you want to share it out for me a few places.
Yeah, I'll share it back on Comics Cast to make sure it's there. But it was a great show. I really appreciate you coming on. I think everything worked out great. I just want to make sure that they roll over to your guys' show. So that's over at Comic Related Madness, right? How's your? All right, so Comic Related Madness. We'll have the link on these comments. If you're at YouTube, you're gonna have to go ahead and jump on Facebook to be able to find that. No worries. Comic Related Madness, and it's the Crom Con IV.
Con 4.
And we'll have it linked in Comics Cast as well as them. So awesome. Go ahead and close it out. Thank you so much. I think it was a great success, and we'll hey, if I can help you out next month, we'll do the same thing, man.
You bet. You can kick off next month too, man. I loved it. It was great.
All right, brother. It was a great show.
See you over there in the Comic Related Madness.